No BS is presented by Screamin' Sicilian Premium Craft Frozen Pizza. Find it in your local grocer's freezer and taste what all the screaming is about. Now, Billy and Armen on the game.
Let's get this party started. No BS on the game. I'm Billy Schmid. Over on the other side of the glass is my main man, Armen Sarian. So get ready for heat all morning long for the next 4 hours. You better crank it up because it's a little chilly outside when you fire up that four wheels this morning. What's going on, young man?
What's going on? Cold outside. Absolutely a little bit chilly. But, Billy, we're getting close to the late Novembers. So I think it's a sincere time of year to be cold. I mean, let's be honest with you. It's
sincere time of year.
It's fine. It's sincere. I mean,
it's
sincere to the weather. So it is what it is. You know me. I'm not really. It's kind of like vest that I keep at work season. I keep wearing this thing. It's my Central Standard Distillery vest that I keep here at work just because I always get cold.
Mm-hmm.
And as you say, Billy, that's sort of like, I'm trying to be blue collar all the time, but I'm not really. So it's always that like the blue collar guys had their work vest.
Right. Reminds me of like my dad at the factory had a work locker, right?
Yep.
He'd go in, change clothes, go into the stuff that you're going to work in all day long. Now you'll work in most of it, but you're going to throw that Central Standard vest on. And that's really when you are locked in, ready to go for the next like 3 or 4 months.
Makes you feel kind of like prepared and kind of tough as well as a little warmer. I mean, let's be honest. It's more of a super, my cape, it's like a superpower. You know what I mean? That's kind of how I feel besides it being.
So that's where you get your superpowers is from the Central Standard vest.
Sure.
I got to get me one of those then.
Sure.
Then I'll get some superpowers.
Yeah, absolutely, Billy. There's always an extra layer to put on during this time of year, but it does, I mean, I'm not really, and we talk about this a lot. Like you see the guys, you roll up a quick trip and the blue collar guys are getting ready for their work. They have the reflective vest.
I was going to say, it's not your
layers.
Reflective vest, but it's as close as you're going to get.
It's like when I see those ads, those direct ads that come up for the bearskin hoodie, that real thick hoodie.
Bearskin hoodie. Got it. Okay, sure. Yep.
Oh, that's that's a different situation.
603 and bearskin is getting mentioned here.
And I'm like,
talk about the USC Trojans and their big matchup coming up later on.
That looks like a tough hoodie, like a comfortable, warm one, like for like heavy duty. And I'm like, look at that, like Laura, this looks cool. Like she's like, I don't think you need that. She's like, you don't work outside.
Not yet.
And I'm like, wow. I start recoiling. Like, what are you trying to say about me? Like, what do you mean I'm not tough?
You immediately start caping up for yourself. I can do stuff. I took out the garbage last week. It was 31 degrees.
You know what I'm saying? And then I'm like, there's this like 98,000 fill hoodie that they're selling online. I'm like, this looks like a good. She's like, you don't need that. I'm like, well, you're absolutely right. But I want to think
Not
like
yet.
I need that. I want to feel like I need that. So it is what it is. But I don't know, Billy. We are getting to that time of year, and the leaves keep coming down. So you got to work outside every now and then. We're coming to that time of year, Billy. It's the holidays. It's the holidays, and I got an exciting text last night. Actually, Laura did. We got the text. All right.
You got the text.
Before we get into all of our regular Wednesday hump day activities and a lot of important stuff.
Yeah, you were excited about this. You told me I got an important text and then said, I'm not going to tell you about it yet.
You're like, oh, what Woodruff being back with the qualifying offer.
Yeah. $22 million, most ever for a pitcher in 1 year for the Milwaukee Brewers.
Big deal. Like Jaden Reed, like tweeting it out like, hey, I might be coming back.
LeBron James definitely coming back.
LeBron is definitely, because he's got a reputation of change. I mean, he's got to play some ball. No, that wasn't it. But one of the texts I've really been waiting for, I've been praying about, and it happened last night, Billy. And Laura got the text getting welcome from the new neighbors. Welcome from the new neighbors. We got your number from the old owners. We want to welcome you to the neighborhood. We want to let you know we do a little Christmas party every year. And like, oh my goodness, I've been waiting for this so much, man. I feel like we're going to be part of a neighborhood, like get the neighbors, the Christmas party text. I'm like, Laura, this is great news. Like I was jumping around the house. Like, this is great. They just texted us. We got a Christmas party.
We're finally in.
Yes, we're going to meet the neighbors. We're in. Like, I don't care if you call me last. I got the call, man. And that was a great moment, a great feeling. Oh, man, you know me, Billy. And Laura's like, you're like, okay, this is cool. And Laura's
funny thing is, somebody says something is great 15 times in 1 minute. Right. A lot of times you would say, you tell me it's going to be great one more time, then I'll believe you.
Right.
The problem is, I know how genuinely excited you are to meet all of the individuals that are living around you in this neighborhood gathering where you celebrate the holidays.
It's-
Now, do they know you celebrate Christmas on January 6th?
I don't know if they know that I celebrate.
You going to drop that bomb on them in the first day?
I don't know if they know yet. That
You guys coming to my January 6th celebration?
Probably not going to mention that right away.
Okay,
Because I don't want them to take it the wrong way.
Right.
That I meant because we celebrate Armenian Christmas on the Epiphany.
Oh, sorry. I thought that was I thought that's what
yeah.
everybody thought of when it hit January 6th.
Right.
I apologize.
Yeah. No, I want to make sure that
Armenian Orthodox
lost
Christmas.
in translation because we Armenian Orthodox, we do celebrate. That's why.
Yeah.
Not for any other
Sorry,
reason.
I thought that was baked in. I thought that's what everybody knew when they thought of January 6th.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead. Continue.
No. It's very exciting to because you move somewhere and you know how I am, Billy. I'm not feeling
about
comfortable.
The polar opposite of what I am.
Right. And until I want to meet everybody and get to know them, and then I feel like I'm finally comfortable. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was weighing on me this first couple weeks. You might think, well, what are the things you got to worry about? Does this work? Does the thing work? Do I know where everything goes? Are the boxes unpacked? Do I know where everything?
Was my inspector actually caring, or
Stuff
did he
like
walk
that.
right by some black mold that might be in the basement?
Am I worried? What's that spot?
Mhm.
Why is this light switch warmer than I think it should be? Like, stuff like that. Like, you know what I mean? No. What I'm worried about is like there's a weight on my shoulders. There's a cloud, and what's the cloud? It's like, man, I don't know all my neighbors yet. I don't know everything about like them. I don't know their first names. I don't feel like when I see them. I mean, I do these big awkward waves. Hey, I'm the new guy. Like,
oh my God.
just hanging out waiting.
Are you just sitting on the porch waiting for your neighbors to get home?
Well, see, that's the problem.
Just hoping that you can interact?
It's been the wrong time of the season. I'm like, it's not cold yet, but it's been getting cold. It's not like I'm taking 8 p.m. walks right in the summer nights. Like, that would be it. Like,
that would have been your prime time to introduce yourself to the neighbors while you're walking around with your,
man, they driving by the moving truck. Like, oh, these are the new guys. I'm like, trust me, I know everyone's watched Dateline. I know everyone's watched
this
a lot of
guy's standing
Dateline.
5 feet from the street. Just
I'm a good dude.
in
I
a
have
very
references.
intense wave.
I have references. I'm a good dude.
Honey, don't you ever walk by that house.
Oh, man.
Now, that's tough because I actually was interacting with a friend of mine last night.
You have great neighbors. Yeah, you have great neighbors.
Yeah. And he asked me because the neighbors to our left, directly to our left, that moved in probably about a year ago, and they were coming out of the house. Do you know that guy?
Okay.
I couldn't tell you his name.
See, it's tough, right?
No. Now I do. I believe I know the names. At least my wife does. We went for like a year without introducing ourselves. Now, when we first moved in, everyone did what you just said,
right,
and introduced themselves to us,
which is nice, right?
Very, very nice, super welcoming.
To be welcome, and I want to know the hierarchy.
Got some cookies dropped off.
Oh my goodness,
it was very, very nice. Got the lowdown on which neighbor you might want to watch out for because might be a little kooky.
I love that.
You know, like hey, I wanted to make sure I got there first before this person. I'm like, all right, sweet. That's awesome. I'm going to hang out over here and I'm going to try not to bug anybody.
Which is not a bad thing to do, by the way. Just to not be a troublemaker is a good way to be. But I know it's different. See,
but the problem is,
go ahead.
That was about as far into the conversation as I was going to get until I was ready to go back inside. That's where Armen then said, all right, let's make sure we trade information. I want to make sure that you know exactly when I'll be potentially getting home. Maybe we could hang out. I got a fire pit that we could have some camaraderie. We could hang out here. I wish I could be at your point, and maybe I should be. Maybe that's what more Wisconsinites are doing around that. Instantly, the first thing you do is check the radon, switch over the homeowner's insurance from a renter's.
Get your address changed. Make sure your
go to the post
installed.
office or go online because it is 2025.
Right. Make sure you have a rake in
the garage. Then make sure that you go and talk to every single one of your neighbors and set up a first play date.
Now I want to mention this. Like, Laura's more akin to your style, where like she's watching up Dateline. Like, so she's wary. I'm not saying she's not a friendly person, but she's more shy and wary, right? Like the new cookies, for instance, right? I love that. So let's say, we're going to have a Christmas party. I guess it's a round robin. I never heard of that for a Christmas party.
So everyone goes to everyone's house.
See, I didn't know, but see, I'm real excited. I'm Googling the hell out of this. Reddit, everything. And Laura goes,
honey, what is this? What do we come?
And I'm excited.
How do we get involved?
I'm excited. And then Laura's like, Laura's mentality is like, well,
We just moved in. I don't know that I'm ready to have people
I
over.
don't know whether I eat someone's food that I don't know who they are. Like, you know what I mean? She watches like more like the cookies thing that you had.
Sure.
I'm like, oh, this is great cookies.
Oh, I ate the cookies. I didn't think there was anything wrong with that. No, I'm not fear mongering in that standpoint. That's not what I'm trying to do. I just might be mean.
No,
I might just not be very social.
You're not mean, dude.
I just at some point feel like I just don't want to potentially break down that barrier to where we become too close.
Sure, I totally get this.
So then every single time you're outside.
Oh, we need a 35-minute.
Then we got to chop it up. Yep. Then we got to hang out. Because I'm always down. I love it. Totally do.
But you don't mind if there's
I'm trying to get in and out.
Out of the conversation, right?
Just slide in and out.
Which is not
trying
bad.
to move, beep, bop, and scat around.
It's totally normal, by the way. You don't have to. I don't want you to think just because
I think you're
full Mr. Rogers energy that you need to be like, hey, you don't need to have the Mr. Rogers energy. I'm not saying I'm right. Let me be clear about this. I'm not saying what I'm doing to go overboard is right. I'm just saying it works.
Rogers.
The whole Mr. Rogers energy. I'm just saying it works for me. Okay. It works for me.
Tommy and Stalis Armen is every progressive commercial about becoming your parents.
Oh my gosh.
And he loves it.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
See, the last part is exactly it.
I do.
I know how much you love it. And I know how excited you are. I know how long you've been waiting for this.
There's a function here too, Billy. It's like you want to know that.
Hell, you introduced yourself to the first neighbor. He said I was going to plow your snow. No pause.
Yeah. So my first neighbor, that's the one I've
that's hard to beat.
Met and talked to my next door neighbor the most. All right. The rest I haven't. Like, that's what I'm saying. Good things can come of it. And there's a function here of that, Billy. I just feel like, okay, if you're nervous, maybe like there's a new neighbor. I don't know who these people are. Maybe, Dateline. They might be feeling the same way about you. So I was like, Laura, let's flip this thing around. Let's flip it around. All right.
Let's flip this thing
around. All right. Like, you have to think of it the other way too. It's like you want them to trust you. And then, Billy, you never know when you're going to need these people's help on something, right?
Well, that's fair. Yes.
This is the lesson my dad always gave me. He's like, there's nothing more priceless in life than a great neighbor. He goes, someone you can trust that's going to look out for you and your stuff. And you never know when you're going to need to trust someone living around you. So I want to try and foster those gardens a little bit.
I like that.
I want to try and water those.
Well,
plants.
what you're trying to do is you're trying to water the bamboo.
That's what I'm talking about, man.
Because you water that bamboo 3 times a day for 6 months and it doesn't sprout at all. And then you keep watering it 3 times a day. After that 6 months, it grows 6 feet in a year. You don't you don't necessarily know when it is going to sprout. But like Kyle and Racine said, neighbors are so important. I have one who literally became one of my best friends in the world.
There you go.
I have one who I haven't met in 8 years.
That's going to happen. That's going to happen. Even last night, we got, we're sharing information. We get the text about the parties. Like, hey, we're going to stick with the same group as last year because some people weren't interested. Now, right away, I'm like, what the heck? But that's going to happen. There's going to be some that just aren't going to interact. And that's okay, too. Doesn't mean anyone's a bad person. Just means everyone moves with a different energy.
How fired up would you be if you got, like, say, a little 4x6 postcard note card inviting you to some like front yard Friday nights?
Oh my gosh. I mean, this is akin to how it felt.
A QR code letting you know like where we're going to go and when to show up. RSVP.
Oh man. The only thing I worry about.
Probably should have made it over there one of those times.
Because the one thing we've kind of escaped with this, and I'm good. I'm really happy about it because the other parts of me, I don't want to be paying an HOA fee. Okay.
That's true. You don't want to be getting hit up with money here.
Right. This is just a regular neighborhood.
What happens when all of a sudden this Christmas party is actually a backdoor opportunity to try to
gather taxes,
get some cash on you for like a new neighborhood watch committee that they're firing up?
Now when you start asking me for money, now you might see my energy change a little bit. Okay. Now if it's too much, like, look, I'm not going to say I'm going full Brian Butch with the fireworks situation where he was just like, hell, no, I'm not paying for any fireworks.
I'm good. You know where I'm at,
man. I watch
where I'm at.
My kids, you can blow them off. We'll watch them in the air, dude. We're good. I'm good. So not the same, but look, it's a good start. And listen,
that is a good start.
We got 4 good hours today. And I know we got a lot to get to today. It is hump day. So it's a little different, energy of a show on Wednesdays because we're coming out of the Packers week.
I mean, as our friends Drew and KB do hot take hump day.
Hot take hump day.
This would be the what are you humping or what are you saying is too much of a hot take?
And
are you humping the hot take that your neighbors might be the most important thing to do?
I want to hear about this.
Get in with the neighbors right away. Jake in Waukesha said not to put pressure on you right away, Armen. But
I want to hear about this. Yeah.
You got to start thinking about what you're going to bring to this neighborhood party.
I know.
You will be judged by what's in your hands when you show up with the first impression.
Very judged. And
let's make sure the first thing we do is no, you're not bringing chili.
You can't bring chili. Are you kidding me? I'm absolutely
especially a weak chili like yours that comes in last place. Like if you're gonna bring a dish here, you need to be packing your best heat.
Listen, you
need to be throwing your fastball on the paint here.
Listen, your man knows the one thing. All right, if there's one skill strength I have, it's being somewhat self-aware. Now I might have some weaknesses, but I'm self-aware enough to know that I'm not coming in with my worst stuff. I'm wearing my best shirt on the first date. I'm not bringing chili to the first interaction. I'm making sure I don't screw that up. Probably make sure someone else makes it or I buy it.
Yeah. Have you been thinking about what you're going to wear?
And I make sure my neighbor who's got Badgers flag, Badgers mailbox, Badgers this, red door.
Come on.
That I'm not wearing any Marquette stuff the first day. Probably just going to be cool with it. I know you don't like that. You don't like that. I know
yourself.
You don't. Being myself is knowing my first impression is important.
You gotta be yourself. You're a great guy. They're gonna love you.
Once I get her to love me, then I can start to be myself.
Kevin Dickinson said, "I'm not gonna trust a new neighbor that's overly friendly."
Okay,
definitely not trusting the neighbor that's overly friendly.
That's understandable, but I will make you trust me at some point. I will turn you over at some point. Like you will trust. I said that weirdly, but at some point you'll buy in. Billy didn't know what to think of me too when he first heard me on the radio. He's like, this guy's not real.
I thought he was the fakest thing of all time.
I get it.
I like Justin and Nina because you mentioned it's a Wednesday. We got a lot going on. We got a lot of sports to talk about. We're going to have our friend Scott Dolphin obviously drop in here coming up on the other side. Chop it up there. We're going to talk with our friend Dave Sinekin on the other side of the border battle at 8 o'clock. We're going to hit our halftime of the week right around 8 o'clock, but we'll talk about this one as well. Justin and Nina said, good morning, gentlemen. Woodruff coming back for 26. Let's go.
Let's go, baby.
Congrats on your neighborhood Christmas invite, Armen.
Thanks. It means a lot, man. I genuinely was excited about it. I don't want to be over exuberant about it, but it's just cool to be part of something.
Dan and Monona, I'd be the one to get obnoxiously hammered and never be invited to another one.
That's
Dan, that's the easiest way.
That's the best idea. Probably.
Hey, why was Dan so strong? Well, he was drinking Everclear in that Yeti that he brought over here. Oh, okay. Maybe we don't send Dan the invite next time. 877-794-1973.
I think energy's not like the keg stand energy. I get a feeling it's a different type of energy.
Hey, I got a quarter barrel over at my place. Hey, man, we got bedtime coming up here in a few minutes. Is that all right? Can we not be doing 15-second keg stands?
Even in my condo complex, there was a group of like 8 to 10, I'll say like older retirees. Every night they'd walk together. I'm like, that's the energy I want. They
never invited you?
No, you're always invited. You walk out there and you want to hang out with them. If you wanted to be part of that, they got together, they watched the fireworks. They
were too old for you to hang out with?
It's just the energy was different, and it's okay.
Just 877-794-1.
Some guy called me Gramps on Twitter yesterday. Some Bears fan.
Yeah, you didn't realize what kind of a compliment that was. 877-794-1973. That's Armen Sorry, and I'm Billy Schmid. Love thy neighbor. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, and it's a beautiful day to be Armen Sarian's neighbor. He's fired up to meet him. We're excited to be hanging out with all of you. You become our neighbors on the NicolaLaw.com talk and text line. So pull up to our block party on this beautiful Wednesday and hang out on No BS on the Game.
Want to watch No BS?
We'll do anything it takes.
They're live on YouTube, Facebook, and X right now.
We have a place for it.
Just search 97.3 The Game.
Eric Tasker here from Tailgate Talk. Paul Wagner and myself are back with a new episode everywhere and anywhere that you listen to podcasts. In our latest episode, we gather around the tailgate and talk about the rut in Wisconsin, successes, letdowns, and just a general excitement that comes with the first couple weeks in November. It's a great time to be in the woods, but if you need something to get you through your day, just search for Tailgate Talk on the iHeartRadio app and everywhere that you listen to podcasts. Good luck out there this week to all the hunters. Wear your Blaze Orange and be safe.
Now, a year in rock spotlight, 1973.
time we said goodbye.
The Rolling Stones are back on top with the #1 album in the US and the UK and a #1 single, Angie.
Come on, baby.
Let's Get It On is a #1 single and a #2 album for Marvin Gaye. Also in August of '73, Stevie Wonder is back with the #4 album, Inner Visions. And Florida band Leonard Skinner released their debut album, have a top 20 hit with Freebird, and tour opening for The Who.
Won't you fly, Freebird, yeah.
Fast forward to October, where on their 8th album, the Steve Miller Band debut a smooth blues rock sound and score a #1 hit with The Joker.
I'm a joker, I'm a smoker, I'm a midnight toker. I sure don't want to hurt no one.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more from 1973. Coming up. Now, a year in rock spotlight, 1972.
In May, the Rolling Stones spend the year recording in southern France and release the double album Exile on Main Street. It goes to #1 in both the US and the UK. California band the Doobie Brothers score a hit off their second album, Toulouse Street, with the single Listen to the Music. More from the summer of '72, Curtis Mayfield is back on the charts with a soundtrack for the film Superfly. The album yields 2 top 10 hits with Freddy's Dead and the title track. And former Zombies keyboardist Rod Argent has a hit album and a #5 single in the US and the UK with Hold Your Head Up.
Hold your head up, hold your head up, hold your head up, hold your head up.
Harry Chapin's performance of the song Taxi on The Tonight Show 2 nights in a row leads to a hit. And struggling UK band Mott the Hoople get help from fan David Bowie, who produces their album and writes them a hit, All the Young Dudes, which peaks at #3 in the UK and in the top 40 in the States.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more from 1972. Coming up. Now, a year in rock spotlight, 1973.
Boston band Aerosmith released their debut album. At Ferris Borley, it would be re-released in '76 and yield a top 10 hit, Dream On.
You ain't nothing but a hound dog, right on that.
Elvis Presley's live TV special, Aloha from Hawaii, is watched by more than 1 billion people worldwide and introduces the world to the rhinestone white jumpsuit. In February of '73, Alice Cooper has a #1 album with Billion Dollar Babies, along with 3 top 40 singles. Elton John also has a #1 album and his first #1 single with Crocodile Rock. Paul McCartney and Wings have a #1 single with My Love, and the Stooges signed to Columbia Records and released their final album, Raw Power, produced by David Bowie. In March, Pink Floyd releases the now legendary Dark Side of the Moon. It goes to #1 and becomes one of the best-selling albums of all time.
And everything under the sun is you, and the sun is
breaking it in. I mean, the big one is after all the ones that like.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more from 1973. Coming up.
When Americans volunteer to serve their country promises to take care of them when they come home. Paralyzed Veterans of America works with veterans and their families to make sure they get all that they were promised. You can help. Visit pva.org.
I was Jack and you were Diane. All right, Armin. I forgot about that song. I thought we had more time than that. Yeah, check out the song.
It was yesterday, it was years ago. We were singing every word on the radio. Kind of like them songs could save our souls. Somehow, some way.
We're back on the game, no BS. I'm Billy Schmidt. That's Armen Sarian. He is trying to be your loving neighbor. Scott Dolphin joins us now here on the game. Dolph, we had a very important moment yesterday for Armen in the new house ventures. He got a text from the neighbors last night inviting them to. I don't want to mischaracterize your soiree that you got invited to. Kind of a potluck. No, pardon me.
Round
robin Christmas party with all of the new neighbors.
It doesn't even matter what it is. They could have invited me to the garbage toss down the street. The fact
throw
that,
eggs at the new kid.
The fact that I'll take it. You can throw eggs at me. I want you guys to know I'm down. All right, I'm down to be cool, to have fun. Listen, I was just really excited that we got like a text from new neighbors, and whatever they're doing, we're going to be included. That stuff's important. You know what it's like having an important neighbor, having neighbors.
Oh, big time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So did they knock on your door, or
no,
did you?
They texted Laura, my wife. They got the number from our old owners.
Now, isn't that might even be cooler because they reached out to somebody to get your number to be able to do the outreach.
Yeah,
but
they cared. Yeah.
This is an important time. So Armen's worried that he's gonna, potentially come on too strong.
I don't want to mess up this first date.
I just told him to focus and think about it this way. Just take some sage advice and just be yourself.
Well, key question here is what are you bringing?
That was the other part here because it is a round robin. So at some point they're going to come over to his house, right? So you then,
right? So somebody's doing dinner, and then you're doing cocktails. Somebody's doing appetizers.
That's kind of what I'm guessing. I'm wondering if it's like an appetizer at each person's house. You're supposed to go here, and then maybe we have some chicken wings at Armen's house, and all of a sudden we're going over here to have some meatballs, and then
maybe a traditional Armenian dish.
Well, that's what I thought of right away. I was like, we
okay.
gotta let them know, hey, look, we're Armenian. Here's some exciting Armenian stuff, right?
What's your best? What's your go-to?
Well, if it's like a dessert, you can
definitely
do
not chili,
like a baklava, like a little dessert.
A
lot of Armenian pastries. Like if we're thinking about a main, I don't want to bite off more than I can chew. No pun intended. But I should really start smoking some shish kebab in the backyard. Let them know you got a real one out here.
I think the last thing you want to do is be entrusted with the main course at this one.
Yeah, especially if I I watch these guys on YouTube, these old Armenian guys that build it's called the tonner, where it's just like an underground oven. They build it in their backyard, and they can really drop it's like kebabs. An underground. Yeah, it's amazing. I'm not gonna do all that.
Yet.
Probably not going to do all that, but it'll be something cool like that. Yeah.
Is there an Armenian holiday beverage like a Tom and Jerry? Is it an Armenian Tom and Jerry, something like that?
Great question.
Well, you always drinking a little Armenian brandy.
Little
Armenian brandy. That's like the
that's the go-to, right?
Go-to if you like, dude. It's a tough thing to drink. If you like that, but it is sort of like what Armenians like.
Well, you can't act like it's hard to drink. If indeed you have the Armenian brandy at the celebration, you got to walk in right away, pour everyone a glass, then take one quick little sharpshooter for yourself and totally be okay.
Yeah. I would say that is the one. Obviously wine. And then
just a little sharpshooter.
And then everyone's got like the fruit. A lot of Slavic or Eastern European has like the fruit vodka.
Oh.
We call it ohi, which is like basically like fruit vodka. It's like you just take a shot of it. You just drink it. That's just the way it is.
Interesting.
Yeah. So there you go. But
Armen also said in the midst of the chaos of trying to make sure that the neighbors enjoy him, he said, whether they like him or not at this point, I'm going to turn you over at some point now. We did have to hit the pause button on that one.
Pause.
He did. He's just like he's going to win you over sooner rather than later. So you might as well just get
it over with.
Right. Just own up to it right away and realize that you're in. Realize that you're in for the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years. And the interesting part is the juxtaposition here, Dolph, where I have a new neighbor that moved in probably about a year ago. And, at some point, we reached that point where I didn't reach out and he didn't reach out. And now it's like we've been around for about a year. We've kind of like casually, weirdly waved.
Oh, yeah.
Now it might be strange to go and talk to each other and have that kind of interaction about 13 months in.
My last neighborhood was very inclusive, and I shouldn't even use that word. Everybody just seemed to know each other.
Mm-hmm.
My neighborhood now, everybody's great. Everybody's fine, but we don't do that type of stuff, the round robin or
which is okay too.
Yeah,
it doesn't mean it's a bad neighborhood or you have bad neighbors or a bad relationship if you don't do all those things. Don't get me wrong.
This is just what you've always dreamed of.
I just think it's great. But you don't have to become best friends with everybody. I understand that. But you do want to make sure, like, you don't want to feel left out either of the new group. If there's
Sure.
you want to make sure they know I want to make sure everyone knows I'm not a weirdo. Like, Dateline, you know what I'm saying? It's just things you think about.
You're really stressing the point that you want to make sure that they know you're not going to be on Dateline.
Keith Morrison going to be showing up on our.
I love that, Keith Morrison.
Maybe just don't include that in the conversation. Don't worry, you're not going to see me on Dateline. Chris Hansen's not showing up at my door. It's all good.
After an hour, so you guys happy you don't have some weirdos that moved in?
It's just good that you're taking the invite and running with it because if you turn them down, there might not be another one. So that's something it's a must that you're doing this because in 2026 you might not get the same invite.
Brian and Madison offer to help your neighbor put a fence up like mine did the first weekend they moved in.
Oh wow, that would have been. Yeah, see, I gotta be careful. I don't overstep either. Like, this guy's awesome. You mind helping me rake my leaves all day? Oh.
I like Ryan and Muskego said, Armen, best piece of advice I can give you is to just be yourself.
Thank you.
Just be yourself. Be yourself. Be yourself. Be yourself.
Just be yourself, Armen. It's all good. If you want to bring a dish, I have one for you. It says, Ryan here. It's a dish that slaps every single time. You might not be thinking, why would you bring this? What am I going to tell you? It's the first dish that's always empty. Pizza rolls.
Oh yeah, pizza rolls are awesome. And no one. Listen, that's one thing you talk about. Like,
go with some real low hanging fruit. That everyone's gonna be like,
yeah.
wow, that's a good one.
And that's one thing you know how to cook. I know how to make Totino's pizza rolls since I was in 7th grade.
Yes,
you know what I mean.
Maybe you could slap an Armenian word on them and say, "This is where it all started. They started in Armenia. We call them, this is one of our traditional appetizers called whatever."
That's chestnut checkers.
They're not going to fact check that.
Yeah, I love that. Or I could just buy some cookies from Pick and Save and call it.
You could.
Well, you could run from the grind. Yeah, you could do that. You could completely cop out,
duck the smoke,
and definitely start out on a sour foot. Or as CJ and Madison said, Armen, just bring a jar of pickles.
No, I'm saving those for myself. You got me messed up.
Armen's not sharing any of those. Dolphins always dicey for headlines on a Wednesday. However, the Packers are hoping that they get some good ones. Jaden Reed made a little bit of news saying that he might be coming back.
Oh, that social media post. Yeah, that has people buzzing.
And good for the Milwaukee Brewers starting out with some news of the Brandon Woodruff deal.
Yeah, I'm happy. I think a lot of people are happy that Woody's coming back at least for one more year. He what do they call it? The option? What do they call it?
Qualifying offer
of $22 million. This is the only place he's ever known in professional baseball. So I'm sure he and his family felt comfortable to stay in Bruce City one more time. And that really solidifies that rotation because you already have Freddie coming back and all these young guns. That's exciting for Brewers fans in 2026.
This is also by far the most he's going to make. And I think that's not something to underestimate where, yeah, of course, every ball player, obviously you dream of going pro. You dream of being able to make a good life for yourself. But Billy and I have talked about this. I think just the way his career's gone, the timing of injuries and things with when he was off team control, a guy that's pitched as well as he has in Major League Baseball at his age has not made the money that most guys have made at that level. It's
true.
It hasn't hit the right way or the injuries have been. So I think this is more than he's going to have made combined in his career just in 1 year.
And he said throughout when he was pitching in 2025 that the velocity will be back. He said, what you're seeing right now, 93, 94 miles an hour, is just because of the injury. Next year, I'm going to be full speed, full strength, and I'm going to be throwing where I was. He's going to be throwing in the high 90s. That's from Woody's mouth. So hopefully he's gambling on himself here. And if he has a hell of a year, who knows where he'll be next year.
Well, and the interesting thing is because Robert Murray, fan-sided, was on MLB Network last night after the qualifying offers came through because Woody was not alone. There were multiple guys. Gleyber Torres also accepted. Shota Imanaga with the Cubs accepted, and that one was maybe a little bit surprising.
Yeah.
It's unique to the market this year because of what some people have talked about of the labor disagreement going on in 2027.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Where I wonder also, Armen, you're spot on. I don't know that Woody was making $22 million a year in any kind of long-term deal. I do think he could have gotten, say, 3 years at 42.
Sure.
Right. Like he could have gotten multiple years, more guaranteed money, just smaller annual value. But to uproot for the year, not knowing what's happening in 2027, and you're going to potentially grab the most guaranteed money right out of the gates, and baseball could look totally different. I think it was a no-brainer for Woody.
Yeah, it was.
And I almost wonder if teams were surprised that more guys did take it, because I think this is the most that Major League Baseball has seen of teams or players accept the qualifying offer, because generally it's sweet, we're going to drop this on you, you'll say no, go sign a long-term deal somewhere else, and then we'll get a draft pick.
Boy, Gleyber Torres was phenomenal this past season. I mean, it's
incredible.
As a Yankee fan, I wish we would have seen that consistently when he was in New York, but man, oh man,
I'm just glad the Cubs never got to see it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Right?
I'm happy about
No
that.
doubt.
The Aroldis Chapman deal in 2016.
That's right.
And consistency, I mean, I think we just take it for granted. Most guys are going to try and take the top dollar. I'm sure consistency matters for more than others. Like you talking about Woody, a guy that wanted to, has to rehab the injury. He's comfortable at the trainer's facility. What are you laughing about?
Somebody AI
What are you laughing
picture
about?
in here of
my God.
of Armen as the overly new
so
friendly
good. That's so good.
Oh, that's great. And the rest of the neighbors.
Jake, put that on. Jake, if you got Twitter, put it on
I
Twitter.
gotta figure out
Put it
how,
on X.
we gotta figure out how to put this on the YouTube stream other than me just showing people on my computer.
What's the caption?
Oh my God.
Overly friendly new neighbor.
Overly
That's a
friendly
good-
new neighbor.
That's the
Armen
best
waving.
AI I've seen of myself so far.
Oh, it's spot on. It's you if you ate baklava for 6 straight
They
weeks.
got the hair right too. That little
Like
thin
it's
spot.
definitely you with a quick 30 on you, but it's a nice 30. It's I just moved into the house of my dreams and I'm hanging out with my neighbors that I've always wanted.
How about, the
35.
khaki, how about the khaki zip-up jacket? I had something like that in like college. And
You have one of those in your.
honestly, I think my dad has it now that he wears it, but it's sort of similar to this jacket.
That is phenomenal. Oh my
and
God.
all the other neighbors
Great
staring
work.
down. I apologize. That was an elite point you were making.
No,
and then
something
Jake
about
was
trainers.
one
and
of the better
consistency of
AIs
Woody.
I've ever seen.
Oh my God,
Now, does
that's
this
funny.
really quick to not to get off the AI Armen point because it's funny. Does this worry either of you? Billy, I've seen this too on Twitter. This means they're going to trade Freddie. That's what everybody's saying.
Yeah.
Do you think that means that one way or the other?
Yes, that was the point that Robert Murray was making, that it maybe makes him expendable at $8 million. I don't know though. Like that's the part where with the hanging up of 2027, I think a lot of these teams are just going to be incentivized to say, we're going to go and see what happens, right? Like you don't necessarily know what's going to go down. Are you going to clutch your pearls and hold on to as much cash as possible going into the labor strike? Or are you going to say, hey, baseball could look totally different. Let's see if we can win it one more time like it looks like right now.
Never ceases to amaze me especially with baseball, with all sports, but with baseball especially, that the short-term memory they have from these strikes over the years.
Oh God,
and
it's
how
incredible.
I'm old enough to remember the mid-90s, the one in the mid-90s, man. People didn't come back for 4 or 5 years. The world's biggest baseball fan said, I'm done.
Cancel the World Series, things like that.
It was awful. I mean, attendance was way down.
I'm curious to know, though, if the cultures change a bit. There are so many fans that are upset about the inequities in baseball now that I wonder if some would sacrifice some baseball just to get a more sustainable, even playing field structure. If it is a salary cap, maybe. I'm not sure, but
it's just a weird spot because baseball right now, from the interest, the intrigue, the television ratings, like the World Series was one of the better viewed sporting events outside of an NFL game in the last 10 years. So it's tough to.
I didn't see
punt
that
on
coming
it
with the
after
Blue Jays in it, and the boy, I underestimated them. That was a hell of a World Series, and they're a hell of a team.
Yeah, it is. It's a weird dynamic that you find yourself in right now.
The best thing
how it plays out
about Woody coming back to Milwaukee, though, he's a huge country fan.
Okay, so you think
Oh,
he'll be at Luke Combs potentially if they're at home on that Friday, Saturday, and
Yes, I do.
in May.
Did you have him introduce any acts or up on stage?
With
golf? I know
with
you do that
Woody?
sometimes. Yeah.
No, but I know for a fact that he is a huge fan. His wife is a huge country fan.
Pretty cool.
Yep.
Is my man Jordan Davis coming back anytime soon?
Dude, he was just here last month.
What?
How did you miss that?
I was hanging out with my neighbors.
It was a cold night at the BMO Pavilion down at the Summer
Son
Festival.
of a.
middle of October show, man. You're rolling the dice when you have somebody in mid-October.
Yeah, that's a dicey proposition. I was
But,
probably watching Iowa smack Wisconsin on that
I
Saturday.
think
night.
it might have been that.
Too busy,
It
Billy.
was around the
Oh, that
middle
would
of
make
October.
sense then. Okay.
You know what? That's when it was.
Damn.
Sorry, I wore my Tiger Hawk pullover in here today.
Looks good though.
They're disappointing to me right now. Losing,
Good that
blowing
USC.
11, a 13-point lead at SC.
Well, it just started off so well for them, and it was
Yeah.
their kind of weather too.
It was.
Rainy
It was
and
an
cold.
Iowa game,
I know.
and they let the West Coasters come in here. Now Iowa just allowed the
tough
SC to
trip.
think that they're Big Ten now.
That's a tough trip though.
SC flirting with the playoffs. They got to win at Oregon.
They win at Oregon, just like you guys had a chance to do. You beat Oregon, you might be into the dance.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun to watch. Appreciate it, brother.
Yeah, thanks, boys.
That's Scott Dolphin hanging out here. He's our neighbor, and we always have fun camaraderie in games, and we'll go and play games with them coming up on Game Time tomorrow.
Oh yeah, brush up on your Minnesota slang, okay?
I'll try. Listen.
Losing.
I'll say this: Minnesota nice after interacting with more of our neighbors to the west. Not very true.
That's true.
They're
Yeah.
not as nice as they like to try to tell themselves they are.
It's true. They're coming to Lambeau on Sunday. But if you want to brush up on your Minnesota slang, just watch every season of Fargo on FX or stream it.
Okay, I'm
There's
in.
A lot of that slang in there.
Again, they're trying to take North Dakota's best
They
thing,
are.
Fargo.
That's true.
You Minnesotans, you jerks.
Most of it takes place in Minnesota.
They do two things well in Minnesota: malls and losing. And neither of them are good. I mean, anymore.
Neither of them are winning.
Imagine your number one attraction is something that's unfortunately a dying industry is malls.
It's my favorite joke of all time. It's a visual. Sorry to everybody listening. What's this? This is every Minnesota Vikings World Championship ring.
Oh.
Just holding the fist up.
Just an
Listen,
empty fist.
Don't get me wrong. I liked the Mighty Ducks. I like Mall of America, but
We know you like Mighty Ducks.
well, yeah, some of us. I did like it a lot. I'm not gonna lie.
Don't say
I'm
did.
not- I
You
love
know
it.
you love
I
it.
love it now.
Maybe
I do.
Mighty Ducks will
I
be
do.
shown at the neighborhood party.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's so good stuff, man. It's awesome.
Dolph, appreciate it, brother.
All right,
We'll see you
boys.
tomorrow.
See ya.
There he is, Scott Dolphin, hanging out with us here from FM 1061. It's No BS with Billy and Armin on the game.
Stay tuned.
You do like to grab attention.
No BS will be back in just a moment.
I'm Bridget Condon with NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network. Texans head coach D'Amico Ryans officially ruled out quarterback C.J. Stroud for Thursday's game against the Bills with a concussion. Davis Mills will start again for Houston. The Steelers look to have avoided a major setback as quarterback Aaron Rodgers fractured his wrist but will not need surgery, according to head coach Mike Tomlin. According to NFL Network insiders Ian Rappaport and Tom Pelissero, Rodgers is pushing to play Sunday at Chicago, but doctors must clear him and his status moving forward is to be determined. Joe Burrow will participate in 11-on-11 drills this week and will be evaluated throughout the week. Burrow did play 7-on-7 drills in practice last week and felt good, according to head coach Zach Taylor. Taylor says Burrow is in the mindset that he wants to play football this year, but there is no timeline for his return. The Bengals host the Patriots on Sunday. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers. So we build specially adapted homes at Homes for Our Troops. And thanks to our donors and supporters, this life-changing gift of freedom is provided mortgage-free to these veterans. But we need you to join us too in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Are you a parent of a 2 to 8-year-old? Listen closely for an exciting offer, then head to abcmouse.com/radio to learn more. By now, you've probably heard of ABC Mouse.
ABC Mouse is like a little one-on-one teacher. It has helped her so much.
We're offering a promo at abcmouse.com/radio to try it for free for a month, then $14.99 per month until canceled. Go to abcmouse.com/radio to see this offer. That's abcmouse.com/radio. Actual ABC Mouse users compensate for their testimonials, sponsored by Age of Learning.
Drew and KB on the game.
We're riding the K train. Kato Kalin joins the program. Hey, the Just a Bit Outside documentary from your friend Kelly Call and his crew was phenomenal. I've watched it a bunch of times. We make all of our young listeners and our young coworkers watch it to see what it was like with the 82 Brewers and why that team is so beloved. I'm just wondering, Kato, what memories did that bring back for you when you saw it?
It was great because first of all, when they beat the Angels, coming back 3 games in a row, it's phenomenal. Everybody, I remember going to so many games. Harvey Keene was amazing. The whole gang. One time I did an event, and it was actually when I was living in LA, but I was flown to Milwaukee when the Potawatomi sort of just opened, and I was guest of a huge charity, and my seat was next to Moose Haw. And I had the guy was great. He lives in Scottsdale now. So I stayed, we exchanged numbers, and we just reminisced about how great he was and how great the group was just during that entire time. I mean, Vukovic, Gorman Thomas, it was so blue collar that, everybody gravitates that this team has got to win it all, which they didn't.
You can find all of the shows in podcast form. Just search Drew and KB on the iHeartRadio app.
iHeartRadio goes one-on-one with Neil Sean of Journey to ask what the last several years have been like for him creatively.
Well, you know what? I feel kind of reborn. Ever since, I got sober, like things have been really coming together for me in every way, in every sense of the word. It's like my playing, I feel like I'm excelling. I'm very ambitious, I'm very creative. I have like a little jam studio downstairs in my house, and I sit in there for at least a couple hours to 3 hours a day and jamming with loops and all kinds of stuff just to keep, my chops up. And it's been really, really great for my playing.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more Neil Sean and all your favorite artists.
No BS on the game. Billy and Sarian with you. Armen Sarian, love thy neighbor. He wants to be your neighbor. Ready to hang out with all of his at the neighborhood potluck. Round robin. I keep calling it a potluck. We have potlucks here in the building.
Laura goes, what's a round robin? I'm like, the only thing I remember is some sports tournaments when everybody played each other.
Yeah, I know a round robin where you put like 4 teams into a different bet. And you make a round robin, and then you make a bunch of 2-leg parlays.
That's a round
with all
robin.
those teams.
But I Googled it. I thought it was a pretty cool idea.
Yeah, you're down for that idea.
No,
Everybody
cool.
gets to stop in. Also a good chance to show off, like, hey, this is my place. This is what looks good over here.
True. Although I think the first year, we're not really ready to host. I mean, we're unpacking boxes still and stuff like that. So
you better get ready.
Well, no, I think I let them know.
If you're going to be in.
We're not ready this year. We'll just we'll go to yours this year. And then next year.
Oh, then next year you come on. Oh, you sure? Yeah.
I think you got to be a little understanding. I mean, it's a little bit of disrepair right now, we're not ready to.
Do you want to be in the club or no?
You're right. I mean, you're absolutely right about that. I mean,
are you about it or not?
Am I about it or not? I mean, you either are you in or you out. How many times you heard that in radio? Are you in or you out? By the way, I had to play a little bit of Nirvana there for my man. Is it Steve on the text line? He wasn't happy with my country bump.
Yeah, he did say we got to do something about the music here. Guys playing country all now. Bring Pipe Bomb back. Way better music when he's producing.
I love Pipe Bomb. I just don't have his portfolio. That's the reality of it.
Listen, you will not that Armen won't play Eat Your Face if that's one of the bands.
Or Combusted Bones or something.
Yeah,
like
100%. Totally down to. Just needs to know where to find it.
Or Garbage Dump or something, whatever it's called.
Danny, there's just so many different good texts in here.
Let's roll with it.
Dilly Dan said, Armen, you should bring your dad. That's a good one.
If I bring
that might be the best dish to pass. Just bring Leon, and people would have so much more fun.
They'll like him more than me, though. Can I handle that?
That's fair. You can't set that precedent.
The thing is, my parents live really close to this area, so you don't think I'm gonna say that a million times? Oh, I grew up in Greenfield, so I went to Greenfield High. Should I wear my letter jacket? No, it's too much. Never mind.
You absolutely should wear your letter jacket.
That's too much energy right away. Too much. But Billy, I will slide.
Would you wear the prom crown?
Listen, I've been getting a lot of that on Twitter. You've been seeing that. A lot of people ripping on my prom king bio, which is factual. I do have it in my Twitter bio.
It's not true. It's no fake news.
It is true. But if you think I'm being 100% serious, I'm actually trying to flex that. You got me messed up. Come on, let's be honest. No, I'm not wearing any of that stuff. But yeah, I should bring my dad. I mean, because he'd be the hit, right, of the party.
He would. Oily Phil here. Hey, Armen.
What up, Phil? Oily Phil.
What if your neighbors are swingers? You gonna move or stay?
I mean, geez. I mean, come on. Can't we just have a regular thought that we're regular? We're gonna be regular neighborly friends without thinking something weird's gonna happen right away. And I don't think they are. What is it? Plums or pineapples or something like that.
Upside down pineapple.
Yeah, I don't see any of that stuff.
Just make sure when you guys go to one of the houses
Yeah.
You don't make the mistake Allie and I made potentially one time where she got a sweet pineapple cooler backpack.
Oh,
She's
yeah.
younger.
Right.
Showed up to the party with that. Everyone's like, okay. Different party that you guys are trying to show up to. Had no clue.
No clue.
Had no clue.
Just like when
that makes for an interesting interaction.
Just like
definitely don't do that. We won't you don't have to borrow that backpack.
I had just like when I had my pineapple swim trunks that were on sale at Old Navy for $6. That's why I bought them. And I had them.
You rock those at Sunburn Bowl?
Sunburn Bowl. And everyone I'm making jokes like, okay, you know what? I'm not wearing these anymore. If they
talk about a hotbed for that activity?
I don't know. Yeah.
Jerry in the plow truck said, Armen, 3 words: buffalo chicken dip. A buffalo chicken dip is bringing some heat.
Consistent winner.
That is when somebody does it right, will always steal the table. Because you want a little bit of a hot dish, still snackable, a little bit of protein, but nobody's turning that down.
Nobody. It's like the most
Jerry in a plow truck with a
winner.
very, very good take right there.
Yeah, it's like the most consistent winner of all the snacks, the dips, the party things. Only problem is you need to make sure there's a plug for the crock pot. Because I got my buffalo chicken dip. I gotta plug this thing in somewhere. So is that really good for the round robin? Because I'm not carrying it around.
Why not?
I actually have no idea. That probably is a great idea. Just keep it plugged in.
Well, again, because you're not allowing yourself to be ready to host.
That's right.
You could have that snack ready to roll. 877-794-1973.
It's a winner.
Derek in Watoma. Armen, you definitely got to wear the Letterman jacket and your class ring just for good measure. Throw on your graduation.
I never got a Jostens. I never got a class ring. Felt like I wasn't going to wear jewelry that much. So I never got a class ring. I didn't even know they had state championship rings though in high school. Billy informed me of that yesterday.
For sure. Yeah,
as we approach state championship week, right? Got kids trying to live their glory.
Come on, tomorrow there's going to be state titles being played at 10 a.m. live right away. It's going to be a great start to the week. Dana West and Armen and Lara need to watch The Burbs tonight. Now, hand raised in air. I don't know if that's a weird
I've never watched it.
Show. I don't know if it's a Netflix show. I don't know if that's safe for a television show. But he said watch The Burbs tonight.
You guys stop putting this stuff in my head. I don't want weird stuff in my head.
No,
weird
you
stuff.
have the weird stuff in your head. I think people are putting out like good, wholesome, natural, friendly, neighborly things. You're worried that people think that you're going to be a serial killer.
Okay.
I don't think that's the thing.
That's true. But okay, yes, we did have the one swingers joke, but yes, you're right. I'm not going to put you on Dateline. And yeah, you're right.
Trust me, you guys aren't going to see me on Dateline. Like I said, Chris Hansen's totally not one of my best friends. He's not going to be over here at all. Brandon Woodruff's going to be back for the Brewers. Does it spell a trade for Freddie Peralta? Mentioned that with our friend Scott Dolphin in the previous segment. Let's dig into that. And would it make more sense for the Brewers to do now, or you take one more swing at this MLB? We'll explain coming up. Hour 2 of No BS is around the corner. And Brandon Woodruff's not the only one back. Another guy came back last night, a debut in the NBA. We'll get to all of it. And some football as well. It's No BS. Hour 2 is next on the game.
97.3 The Game. This is what's trending in Milwaukee now. Miss an hour of No BS? Honestly, Billy, I don't think you'd miss it. You can find all of the shows in podcast form. Just search No BS on the iHeartRadio app.
Now, a year in rock spotlight. 1971.
The Doors released their 6th and final studio album, LA Woman, while Paul McCartney releases his 2nd solo album, Ram, which goes to #1 UK and #2 US. The album includes several jives of John Lennon and the #1 single, Uncle Albert Admiral Halsey. In May of 71, soul singer Marvin Gaye releases his concept album, What's Going On, and has 3 top 10 singles. And Rod Stewart's 3rd solo album goes #1 and has a #1 single, Maggie May. In July of 71, The Who releases Who's Next. It tops the charts in the UK and goes to #4 in the US.
Teenage Wasteland, Teenage Wasteland.
The Allman Brothers released their breakthrough live double album at Fillmore East. And in August, the concert for Bangladesh, organized by George Harrison and Ravi Shankar, is held in New York City. In addition to the organizers, Eric Clapton, Bob Dylan, Badfinger, Leon Russell, and Billy Preston appear.
Feel my guitar gently.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more from 1971. Coming up. Now, a year in rock spotlight, 1969.
Low-budget film Easy Rider captures the public imagination with a soundtrack by Steppenwolf, the Byrds, and the Electric Prunes. The Woodstock Music and Art Fair is held August 15th through 18th on Max Yasgur's farm in Bethel. 32 of the biggest bands of the day played to a crowd estimated at 500,000. The event is later released as a movie and album.
We are stubborn, we are golden, we are party, and we got to get ourselves back to the dark.
And with the boost from their appearance at Woodstock, San Francisco band Santana hits the top 10 with their debut album, Evil Ways. The festival undoubtedly immortalized Jimi Hendrix and ushered in the era of large rock concerts and arena rock bands. Also in October, Led Zeppelin have their only U.S. top 10 hit when Whole Lotta Love reaches number 4.
I'm gonna give you my love. I'm gonna give you my love. Oh, whole lot of love.
The Allman Brothers Band released their debut album on Capricorn Records to good reviews but limited sales. And 7 years after his last number one, Elvis Presley tops the charts with Suspicious Minds.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more from 1969. Coming up.
iHeartRadio. Here are the top Steely Dan songs that you've thumbed up. Number 3, A19.
She thinks I'm crazy, but I'm just growing old. Hey, 19. We got nothing in common. We can't dance together. Can't talk at all.
Number 2, Do It Again.
Yeah, you go back, Jack, do it again. We'll turn it round and round. You go back, Jack, do it again.
Number 1, Reeling in the Years.
Are you reeling in the years? Stowing away the time? Are you gathering up the tears? Have you had enough of mine?
Hear more from Steely Dan and similar artists now. Search for Steely Dan on iHeartRadio. All your favorite music, all your favorite stations, all free.
iHeartRadio goes one-on-one with Daryl Hall as he flashes back to give us some insight on the Private Eyes video from back in the day.
So we're up there, and I'm looking at the stupid video, and they have us jumping around with these stupid suits on. And I thought it was a joke. I thought the whole thing was a joke. And then all I could think of was, I got to get up in the morning and about 2 hours sleep, and I got to go to Cincinnati. That's what I was thinking of. If you look at me singing in Private Eyes, that's what was going on in my head. And the other thing I can tell you about that video is that T-Bone Walk was the first video that he had ever done. And he said, what do I do? What do I do? I said, you be the guy that just stands there and doesn't do anything. And so if you look at that video, you'll just see T-Bone going like this. That's what I told him to do.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more Daryl Hall and all your favorite artists.
This is No BS with Billy and Armen on Wisconsin's home for the best sports talk and other stuff. The Game.
I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. I am for real. Never meant to make your daughter cry. I apologize a trillion times. I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. I am for real.
Mike and Montello said, great start and energy this morning, fellas. Loving the new music choices going in and out of breaks.
Okay, I see.
Look at Mike gassing up Armen on the other side this morning. It's no BS on the game. 1070. What's going on, Madison?
Not my burner phone.
Totally not your burner
Wouldn't that
phone.
be wild if I had like 19 phones texting into the text line?
No, you got two phones, one for the plug and one for the talking text line. As Kevin Gates once said.
I heard that. Oh, that's good.
Janie and Appleton hit us up on the talking text line off of our first hour segment. We got good neighbors on one side. On the other side, they are horrible.
Oh, that's terrible. I'm sorry, Janie.
We try to connect, but they are unfriendly to a fault. Damn.
Sometimes there's nothing you can do.
I've called the city more than once.
Ooh, overgrown
because they
weeds.
have weeds
Yeah.
that are multiple feet tall. They don't shovel, and they are antisocial. They have 1 million cats and multiple dogs.
Oh
I just
my
miss our
gosh.
old neighbors. I wish they would move, but I don't think their house could even be sold in the condition it's in.
Oh, that's another thing too.
That's a tough deal. Now you're stuck with them.
You don't want to bring down property values and all that, and not to get too deep into it, but that stinks. I mean, that's too bad. There's sometimes nothing you can do about it, and you have to accept that. You know, you tried and you do all you can, and you just got to live through it. But man, you wonder what's going on sometimes in those type of houses. And I don't want anybody wondering.
Speculating.
That's the thing. I don't want anyone having to have any wondering and speculation about me. No, I'm out here. I'm an open book. Are you worried about me? No, I'm right here on the driveway. Come talk to me.
Now, are you right on the corner? Are you one of the corner houses?
No, it's not a corner, but it's sort of like a dead end. It's not a cul-de-sac, but it's like a dead end of a street that there's another cul-de-sac. So I'm not the last house, but it's kind
So
of
not natural cul-de-sac where there's like 3 or 4 houses, but
Right.
it's you kind of staring at one other lot, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
So there's a dead end with one on each side.
One on each side.
One across from us is undeveloped land, so it's just forest.
Nice
basically.
area. Okay, sweet.
Yeah, it's nice until the animals come. No, I'm not have a problem with that. I'm not gonna.
Yeah, totally don't have a
Not
problem
gonna
with it.
complain.
Okay, I like that. That sounds good.
So it is what it is.
Well,
you know?
again, you should be proud. That means that they had to go down in the outreach and say, hey, weird buddy down on the other end.
Sure. Weird buddy. Yeah.
Let's make sure we introduce ourselves to the new ones down on the other end.
Yeah,
Because the
absolutely.
people at the dead end, you never know. Now,
That's a
that
great
could
point.
be.
But we're not the last ones. But if we were, you're right. The people in the dead
If
end.
you would be the last ones, then you definitely want to do some outreach.
Oh yeah, that's the type. That's the type. of
That's
stuff
you're
they do.
definitely trying to keep an eye on that
The
house.
Halloween movies are made up. The Last House in the Street, right? The dead end, the Halloween house. The
This is
haunted
Steve.
house.
Yeah,
What up,
Armin's
Steve?
new neighborhood might be a cult.
I don't know about that.
We
I
have
think that's
to-
a little rough to say it's a cult just because they're trying to organize a neighborhood event.
That part not, but we do need to get some information. We do need to get some more information. Because I could see where Steve's coming from.
Oh, that's why these events are important.
That's why this is going to be a very, very
This is
important week.
Steve.
I
This
like
is
Austin
crap.
in Spring Grove. He said, Armin, just have Billy smoke you a pork butt. You'll be the coolest guy on the
Let me
block.
tell you something.
As long as it comes out well.
If
Yeah.
Billy gets those ribs going, Billy, and you're midway through the Viking week, you must have been eating some good meat this week because I saw you at the.
I did fire up some ribs last night.
I saw you cooking. I saw your haul from the grocery store, butcher shop, wherever you
Mhm.
went, and you had some nice cuts there, man.
Beecher Meats. Come
Dude,
on now.
Beecher Meats.
Formerly home of the Billy Brat.
That's right. That was a
Stocked
great
up for a little
spot.
bit. Oh, it was a great time.
So,
Great work.
I'm telling you, those ribs, they're. You know, everyone says they fall off the bone, like that one meme with the guy when the
You just
falls.
slide right through.
But you have your ribs were really good, Billy. I'm gonna give you credit on that. They're really good.
Dan and West Bend, any chance that Janie in Appleton's neighborhood tried to pitch in for community fireworks on the 4th of July?
Yeah.
No, I don't know. Maybe those were the neighbors. Maybe those were the neighbors that ended up messing up with everybody.
Is Brian Butch the neighbor?
Oh, no, that would be a great neighbor to have. That would be a great neighbor to have.
Great
Albeit
neighbor, the best
a
neighbor.
little tall of a neighbor to
Yeah,
have.
but that's exactly what you want. Hey, can you get this ladder and then can you reach up in the tree? Yeah, bro. Yeah, no problem. Oh,
you know
yeah.
where I'm at. I'm
Yeah.
good. I'm right down this way. I'm
Always
right over here.
around. You know, he'd be the best neighbor, man.
It would be a good one to have. Now, Armin, I got to ask you here.
Let's go.
We mentioned this and tiptoed around the conversation when Scott Dolphin was in here. And I mentioned the Robert Murray conversation that I was listening to a little bit yesterday on MLB Network after a large amount of, and I don't think it's hyperbolic to say, one of the more active qualifying offer days. Generally, this day kind of goes by with like a fart in the
With
wind.
a whimper. No one ever thinks about it. I don't remember much
Generally,
about it.
nobody ends up accepting the qualifying offer. Now it continues to go up year in and year out. It is slated across all of Major League Baseball. If you're going to go into free agency and a team is going to offer you a 1-year, somewhat kind of maxed out contract, you can sign that or go and test free agency.
Mm-hmm.
Similar to the Yasmani Grandal contract, like the Brewers signed him to in 2019. I think they signed him to a number that was pretty close to the qualifying offer that he didn't take with LA, thinking he was going to get a bigger contract somewhere else. A lot of times teams look at it as like a middle ground. We can sign him to this deal. You can take this contract, or you don't take it. You go make some money. We get compensatory draft pick after the first round or after the second round,
right,
in return for you.
And that compensatory draft pick is interesting because I know some people were like, well, listen, this is how the Brewers win. Don't we want that draft pick? Like, why are we doing this? So there's a lot to this, basically.
And they're now the picks that you're able to trade over the last few years.
Which makes it valuable.
Which makes it a lot more valuable.
Yeah.
It's the pick that the Brewers would have traded in the deal that acquires them Quinn Priester. When we were doing this show during the middays, Dave Gasper was apoplectic.
Not happy. Your boy was mad.
Very, very flustered that
How
day.
can you give away Yoferi Rodriguez for this guy?
Well, there was something else, and then also compensatory round B draft pick, I think it was. So I think it's after the second round. I could be wrong. Maybe it was a compensatory A. Whatever it was. They gave up that draft pick, gave up prospects. You can trade those guys. You can't trade the normal 1 through 30 picks in the MLB draft. So teams, and you're right, I think a lot of people anticipated that the Brewers would be banking on is kind of maybe the wrong way of putting it, because even the most optimistic of projections, that cat's not playing for 3 years. At least. Right now, maybe
he does.
Maybe we really trend Paul Skeens-esque and we're seeing guys, Dylan Cruz, top players in college, because I think college baseball is going to continue to go up and up, especially at the SEC with the amount of money that's going through there. I think you're going to see more players come out pro ready, and maybe you can fast track. All right, cut that to 2 years.
Sure, I see.
Again, most optimistic angle.
Bring him up early, yeah.
For where you're at right now, the Brewers' competitiveness and competitive window, Brandon Woodruff on your team for that contract is the most advantageous thing for you.
Well, I think so. I mean, you have to balance a couple things, and you're a Brewers fan, and I feel like I'm the same. I think this way. You have to balance the constant cycle of trying to keep the apple growing so you can keep biting it, aka you trade X player on his expiring deal,
and you're stockpiling that farm
it.
system up as much as possible. You don't want it to ever get to the dirt that it was in like 2018.
You want to keep
after
reloading.
the Yelich deal.
You want to do what no one else has been able to do in baseball. It's a small market, and keep reloading and being competitive. On the flip side, you also want to make sure you realize that if you have a chance in a window to compete, you want to take advantage of it while you can, which is why I think a lot of people were cool with the idea of not trading Willy Adames, even though the Brewers have traded guys in their last deal before to not great reviews for some, even though it has worked out. The hater thing is still a scar tissue for a lot of Brewers fans. And and this involves the Freddie Peralta situation, who's on that option year, right, coming up. So in terms of a competitive setup, you're thinking, all right, this is really good news. If things go the way they are just on paper right now, you got a rotation of Freddie, Brandon Woodruff, Quinn Priester, maybe Mizorowski if he's a starter now, and I guess Chad Patrick. And you're thinking, this is a top 5 rotation in baseball.
Did you mention Robert Gasser in there too?
I didn't even mention that, right? I didn't even mention, other guys that are involved in this mix.
That might make it.
Ashby.
Otherwise, could be long relief guys. Aaron Ashby absolutely is in that conversation.
You're talking about retooling, reloading for another year of competitiveness. We don't know what's going to happen with the labor situation. So you say, all right, you know what? We got a top 5. If guys are pitching as well as we know that they can, this is a top 5 rotation in baseball. I'm feeling pretty good about another playoff run. That's on one hand, you look at it and you say, all right, this is great. And then you say to yourself, there's a couple expiring deals there, or are they setting up to trade Freddie? And would it be best for this team to have gotten that pick, or best for this team to get Freddie? And in a lot of ways, that's the bummer of being a small market, is you always have to think about your budget. You can't enjoy the vacation, and so to speak. If you're
right
rich,
on day 5 of the 7-day vacation, you're thinking like, it's becoming a little bit real money. Robert Murray mentioned that exact part last night on MLB Network. This is how he immediately, while asked by Miss Santos on MLB Network, I'm going to mispronounce her first name, so I was going to go that, said, yeah, the Brandon Woodruff thing is big right away. However, opens up a different kind of conversation.
This one was up in the air. And Woodruff, this one there's layers to this. And Woodruff now, he's a player of the Brewers they drafted. They watched him go through their entire farm system. He's a player that in the clubhouse, on the field, there's not a player who's more respected in that clubhouse than Brandon Woodruff. And they made it clear that they wanted him back. They felt he was well worth the qualifying offer, which he's now going to be signed for. And this is a big win for the Brewers. But he's now signed for $22 million. You have Freddie Peralta signed for $8 million. That's $30 million for a small market team investing into two players. To me, like, I wonder if this increases the chances of a Peralta trade. It's something that I'm watching, something that other teams are watching, and I think this is going to be a conversation now that heats up and maybe dominates the offseason market.
Now, the last piece is a little intriguing because dominates the market. You do have to have a conversation, right? And they will have multiple conversations. They'll have a bunch of conversations. And I can't remember the details. I probably should have saved it. Should have done a better idea of it. One New York Mets blogger, prospect, hoarder, lover, hugger.
They call the Dave Gaspers of the world.
Put out something of like 3 different prospects for Freddie Peralta. And hand raised in air, I knew none of them. Maybe I should have. Maybe I should be more abreast of my information of low A baseball.
Maybe you shouldn't.
However, every one of the replies, Armen, because listen, the gold is usually in the comments.
Yes, of course.
Was like, no way. I'm not giving up that.
Right.
Not giving up that much.
People love those prospects.
Again, people love prospects. People
Prospects.
love what the lottery ticket could possibly be, because no ticket for the Megabucks, which is pulled tonight at 9:00, is a loser. And they're only winners in people's hands right now.
That's right.
At some point later on, they do turn into pumpkins.
They represent hope, though, right now.
And you can also wipe with them.
Yeah.
So this one, for where all three of these prospects, again, I think it was like a pitcher, one first baseman, and maybe an outfielder, whatever it ended up
Which
being.
you said for fans, it represents hope. It represents value.
Because all those guys are going to be all-stars right now.
They're all going
to be all-stars right now.
Hall of Famers. Yeah.
And there's no way we can give up that package. But if you're the Brewers, and as painful as it is to think of, and as much of a roll of the dice as it really is, because I can already predict that we're going to get people saying, we got Woody on $22 million. First Brewers pitcher to be paid north of $20 million for a single season in team history.
Which is kind of hard to believe, but it's not actually. Because it's 1 year and it's like, yeah.
But it is, but it's a fact. I mean, he's the highest paid pitcher for a year the team has ever had, coming off a year where he had 12 starts and 12 starts over the last, 2 years combined?
Yeah, exactly.
So massive gamble, roll of the dice. You then also double that down by trading a guy who was top 5 in Cy Young balloting.
Mm-hmm.
Really, really difficult for you to convince me that you're better. And or the development that you're going to try to go through, and the development with these young players that you're going to grab in a trade with potentially a year off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right? Like that
Good
also
point.
has to factor into the decision.
What happens to these guys? Yeah.
If there was ever a time to take, because most situations, this happens 2 years ago. I'm not going to spring training with Freddie Peralta on the team. If I'm getting trade packages that nobody thinks are fair for the buyer,
you're taking it.
Usually you win the trade when you get the all-star. I'm taking them.
You're taking it.
At least I'm listening.
Right.
You got to set up. You got to continue to try to foster the next wave. Luis Pena, the cats that are already on and that are already up on Baseball America. And the other young man, Luis Pena and Jesus Mate, that were in Wisconsin, they're going to be up here in 2 years. You got to cycle in with young pitchers and young arms there. You got to be able to continue to grow that one.
Yep, you got to grow your next tree.
I'm already questioning how good you're going to be able and how well you're going to be able to develop these players in 27, whatever happens there. Armen, I believe it incentivizes the Brewers and teams like the Brewers. They're the only ones in the situation that are perennially good right now.
Yeah.
This is the time to keep a Freddie Peralta and see where you're at. You were 4 games away from going to the World Series last year. Do I believe that you're going to have the same magic stroke of 14 straight wins and Andrew Monasterio hitting game-winning home runs in the 11th inning? I don't know. I can't confirm that.
No, but you'll be a favorite to make the playoffs, I think.
But I would assume you'd be the favorite to make the playoffs, maybe to win the division, maybe not. Maybe they'll have you in 3rd place again in that odds.
But close.
Cool. But you'll have a chance. You'll have your 2 best players, your 2 best pitchers at least, with a young crop of guys that you can help grow. And everything that Robert Murray said about Brandon Woodruff, the respect and love that he has in that clubhouse, I think you could say the exact same thing about Freddie Peralta.
Oh, yes. Those are your 2 leaders. Those are 2 absolute stalwart leaders, team guy, program guys, the 2 longest tenured Brewers, right? I believe, obviously. Guys that have proven it, been together, especially this last year for Freddie. He's really proven his worth as an ace. He's proven his worth as a leader, as a guy you can depend on. That means a lot to those guys. It means a lot, Billy, and we can't underestimate this, to the Latin quarter kind of the clubhouse, so to speak.
Yeah.
Freddie kind of runs that, and that's a big thing, obviously, with the young talent the Brewers have and the young talent they have coming up. And it's never in a vacuum, will we trade him or not, right? Because the market always dictates that. So if the market dictates so much value for Freddie that it's something the Brewers can't turn down, that's probably a decision that they haven't made yet. You know, I mean, if there's a price for everybody, and if there's an offer they can't turn down because of the market, it's rarely a yes or no, we're absolutely not going to touch him decision.
That's fair.
We want to see what's going on. But I think you have to realize, yes, as the Brewers organization, you have to keep watering your next tree. Like, you have to keep growing the next garden of plants, right? That's just the way it is. So you have to invest in that as much as you invest in what you have currently on your table. Those are both facts. However, the point you make is true, that in this looming, I don't want to make the wrong reference here and make it sound, I don't want to be insensitive, but okay. So let's say there's a natural disaster in that garden and you don't know what that's looming, and you think it might be coming to the point where it doesn't even matter in the short term how you grow your garden. You might as well try and have the best meal now. I don't want to say Last Supper, but it's like that sort of idea when you're walking into this labor negotiation saying, look, we don't know what's going to happen. Getting prospects might not be as reliable as we think it will. Also, the Brewers aren't in a situation where they're starving in the system. Like, they have a pretty good system going now. So they're not desperate to replenish. And you're right, Billy, say, okay, we'll take our one shot. The other advantage is this. If things go badly the first 3 months for the Brewers, if injuries, if you're losing, if you're not playing as well, you can always sell at the deadline, right? You might not get the same value because teams are smarter now. Like, we're not going to give you as much to rent, but you could always sell. And I guess for me, having that much money wrapped up in 2 starters doesn't worry me as much right now because of 2 major factors. 1, the uncertainty anyway in the labor situation.
Yes.
And 2, the fact that they're 1-year deals. That doesn't hamstring you. I heard once, there's no bad 1-year deal, right? Because you can always get off it in the 1 year. So it's not like one of those things where you're really looking at a death knell if it doesn't work out for you, because you paid it for 1 year and you move on, right? So there's a lot of factors there. I would agree with you that depending on the offers you get, unless it's something you really can turn down, you just roll with these guys and you try and win games and you go for it, so to speak.
Now, that's an interesting part of the trade deadline, because if indeed things were to go absolutely south by the deadline, you'd have a lot of ammunition.
A lot of ammo.
You'd have a lot of ammo.
It's like,
and that's not the worst place to be in.
We load up. We're getting our guys that we like to contenders, things like that.
And the gamble that it is of the $22 million with Brandon Woodruff. And we also had Jake and Waukesha say, guys, it's kind of crazy. Woody got a $10 million buyout and the qualifying offer. So essentially getting $32 million, right? So the $10 million that was kind of baked in with the buyout was more on his last deal. But yeah, in somewhat reality, over the next 12 to 13 months, he'll get the $32 million is what it would prorate out to. But that was kind of, he got less money up front in 24 while rehabbing, knowing this one on the back end would be either 10 million or 20 million that he would get in 26 and then go into free agency.
And to me, he's earned it. I'm going to raise my hand right now and say I'm not unhappy about Woody getting money.
This is the most money he's ever made in his big league career, by far.
Obviously, sometimes I have an opposite opinion on some guys, but Woody's the type of guy that you don't mind getting cracked off finally and getting his money because he's earned it. He's put his heart and soul and his blood, sweat, and tears and body limbs into this Brewers organization for a long time.
Oh, big time.
Yeah.
And he also, like I said, I mean, this is by far the most money that he'll make in baseball. Yeah. Otherwise, his biggest year was 10.8 that he got in 2023. So it's very much, and this is sometimes the price you pay in baseball where some people will be frustrated that you're paying somewhat kind of for like past performance. Somewhat are. But also the thought of, I mean, he came back after the injuries that he had and was one of the best, most efficient pitchers in baseball.
Yep.
If he does get back to that spot and is picking up right where he left off, you could absolutely be cooking with gas. The other part of the Peralta thing is, and this is not to be slept on, it's celebrated here because it probably means more to the Brewers to have a pitcher pitching at his level and only making $8 million.
Yeah.
But every team's looking for that.
Oh,
right?
Yes.
Like every team needs starting pitching. Everybody does like affordability. Even though big market teams spend money, they don't love to. They would prefer to get really, really good players for less money. So you got a very intriguing trade piece in Freddie Peralta. All of the offers are going to make it interesting, but a tough message from Joe in Pike Lake. He's like, but guys, you have to take the chance to get the next DL Hall and Joey Ortiz. You got to go for it.
I get it. And that's the tough thing is, and you talk about how fans love prospects really quick, Billy. For many years as Brewer fans, that's all we had was the hope of the next prospect. And often
was the hope that Matt Gamble was going to be a 4-time All-Star.
Matt Laporta.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I'd be sitting here being a full-on liar if I didn't say, even in the excitement of the CC trade, I'm like, oh, my gosh, we're giving him Laporta? What are these guys? How can they do it?
That's a first-round pick.
We attach our hope so much emotionally to prospects that sometimes we can get away from, like, the realistic knowledge of, a lot of times these guys just turn out to be guys. You know, Lewis Brinson. I mean, the line, the
Isan Diaz.
The list goes on. Isan, the list goes on. So
while Christian Yelich was leading off NLCS games for you this year, albeit not hitting, leading off for those games, all of those dudes that were in that trade for him out of baseball. 877-794-1973. Jake in Belgium. I'm all about stats, and they are both top 7 or so all-time in Ks for the Brewers. Keep them and keep adding to it. They're both right there. He's spot on in the top of the leaderboard, Brewers all-time pitchers, and they will definitely continue to add to it. And if you get another year like Freddie Peralta, out of Freddie Peralta, like you got this year, it's going to be worth the risk and worth the money. 877-794-1973.
Best bargain in baseball. He's been the best bargain in baseball.
Big time. Big time. The biggest bargain in sports content is the fact that this show is still free for all of you on YouTube, also X and Facebook. Armen, I didn't realize that a story in one of my favorite corridors of the entertainment world would cause such a kerfuffle in the NFL. We got to hit this Cam Scadaboo story on the other side because he's responding. NFL Network said, should he really be starting a brawl? Might have to add some context.
He hit him with the A. And then a long tweet, AYE.
And I didn't hit him with the, all due respect, I'm not reading that. I read every bit of it, and I'll read it to you next. Funny story in the NFL for a team that the Green Bay Packers just dispatched of in New York. Packers getting ready for the Minnesota Vikings. We'll talk to Dave Sinekin from KFAN in Minneapolis. Does the Packers radio show in Minnesota for the better part of the last 25 years. So he's going to join us talking Packers in 35 minutes from the other side of the border battle that happens this week. Matchup number 200 between the Packers and Vikings. We're discussing it with you at 877-794-1973. No BS. You got it on the game.
Miss an hour of no BS?
Honestly, Billy, I don't think you'd miss it.
You can find all of the shows in podcast form. Just search No BS on the iHeartRadio app.
Now, a year in rock spotlight, 1967.
In January of 1967, Los Angeles band The Doors released their debut album, which eventually goes to number 2, and features the single Light My Fire, which goes to number 1 in July. The Rolling Stones released Ruby Tuesday, an ode to a groupie written by Keith Richards. The song takes them to number 1 in the U.S. in March. And San Francisco band The Jefferson Airplane released the surrealistic Pillow album, scoring 2 top 10 hits with White Rabbit and Somebody to Love.
Don't you want somebody to love? Don't you need somebody to love? Wouldn't you love somebody to love? You better find somebody to love.
In March of 67, Buffalo Springfield re-releases their debut album to include the hit single For What It's Worth. In April of 67, Give Me Some Lovin' by the Spencer Davis Group goes to number 7 in the U.S., with vocals by 17-year-old Steve Winwood. And in May, Elvis Presley marries his 21-year-old girlfriend Priscilla in Las Vegas. In May, Mitch Ryder hits number 4 with Devil with a Blue Dress, Good Golly Miss Molly. And the Jimi Hendrix Experience released their debut in the UK. In July, they toured the U.S. as the opening act for the Monkees in support of the U.S. album release.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more from 1967, coming up. Now, a year in rock spotlight, 1969.
In May of 69, Neil Young releases his first album with Crazy Horse, Everyone Knows This Is Nowhere, featuring the songs Cinnamon Girl and Down by the River. The Who released the double concept album Tommy, which goes top 10 in the US and the UK.
Even on my favorite table, he can't beat my best. His disciples needed him, and he just does the rest. Stop crazy, clever fingers, never seen him fall. That gift of a black kid sure plays a mean pinball.
David Bowie's single Space Oddity, released to coincide with the Apollo 11 moon landing, reaches number 5 in the UK. Also in July, Bob Dylan has a top 10 hit with Lay Lady Lay in his new, deeper-sounding vocal style, which he attributes to quitting smoking.
Whatever colors you have in your mind, I'll show them to you, and you'll see them shine. Lay, lady, lay, play across my big brass bed.
Blood, Sweat, and Tears have a number 2 hit with Spinning Wheel, popularizing the so-called brass rock movement that includes BST, Chicago, and Electric Flag.
Drop all your troubles by the riverside. Catch a painted pony on the spinning wheel ride.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more from 1969, coming up.
iHeartRadio. Here are the top Prince songs you've thumbed up. Number 3, Little Red Corvette.
It was Saturday night, I guess that makes it alright. You say, baby, I ain't got enough gas. Oh yeah, Little Red Corvette. Baby, your mind's too fast. Yes, you are.
Number 2, 1999.
2000 party over, oops, out of time. So tonight I'm gonna party like it's 1999.
Number 1, When Doves Cry.
Baby, you're just like my mother. She's never satisfied. Why do we scream at each other? This is what it sounds like when the doves cry.
Hear more from Prince and similar artists now. Search for Prince on iHeartRadio. All your favorite music, all your favorite stations, all free.
iHeartRadio goes one-on-one with Rick Springfield to get some insight on his latest release, Rocket Science.
It's a guitar-based record for sure, and I love big hooks, and it's not a country record at all. It's a rock and roll record. But it does have some country elements.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more from Rick Springfield and all your favorite artists.
iHeartRadio goes one-on-one with Daryl Hall to ask how the concept of his show Daryl's House made it to television.
You'd think that would be a simple idea to communicate to television, but it was absolutely impossible. So that's why I went on the internet in the beginning. And then I said, see, this is what I do. Here it is. And once you show it to people, then they go, okay, now we're going to put it on television.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more Daryl Hall and all your favorite artists.
You suck. You suck. Hopefully you're not chanting that at the radio, but
Now, who's
hard not to.
Whose bet is this? Whose intro? Is this a certain wrestler's intro?
This would be the American hero, Kurt Angle.
Kurt Angle, okay. I knew it was one of the famous ones. I just didn't know exactly what I was playing.
I'm glad you fired this one.
Well,
up.
me too, but I didn't know exact. I know John Cena, right? The music for him.
Yep. Just had his last match at Madison Square Garden.
I saw that. It was on Pat or he was on ESPN.
He was on First
Pat.
Take. He was on First Take. They will be Survivor Series in baseball stadium. One of the baseball stadiums in California.
Well, they used to have events at
San Diego.
WWF events at County Stadium.
Oh, yeah.
All that
well,
stuff.
in the winterization of American Family Field, some of the thought is that it could potentially host a summer or a Survivor Series, potentially a Royal Rumble, which would be an electric factory. This is no BS. A lot of people call this an electric factory. You never know who is going to run down that ramp and join us in a Royal Rumble.
Yeah. And I don't know why you wouldn't. I mean, after what they've done for like WrestleMania in Vegas, or was it Royal Rumble in Vegas? I mean, they sell out football stadiums. So why wouldn't you want your stadium involved in something like this?
Well, and they have now they've gone from only WrestleMania being a football stadium event to like multiple football stadium events a year, 2-night event. It's a wild deal.
It's
all
a
right,
booming entertainment.
It
business.
is it's one of the hotter entertainment. Sports entertainment is what it's billed as now in WWE. It is one of the hotter times in its existence right now. Not from a standpoint of people believing, again, which some will say, if you guys know that that's scripted, right? Yeah. So is most television you watch on TV.
I think it's
so
really,
is NCIS.
I think it's the reality TV for guys almost. I think that's what makes it so popular is that
guys are working at 1:00 in the afternoon when General Hospital is on.
Sure. So we're not into
this
soap
is
operas.
what soap opera you can watch as a guy.
Like you might not be
also
into,
with your 5-year-old child.
Yes.
And
okay.
enjoy it together.
Yeah.
Now,
like Real Housewives is not something most dudes are into, but there's a lot of
also probably can't watch that with the kids.
Well, depending on the city.
Oh,
depending on the city.
Oh, so there's some that are more graphic than others.
I do.
Or more intense than other ones.
But this, I think, you could say, or like The Bachelor, reality TV.
Yeah,
this
for sure.
This is Guy's version of it. It's scripted. Yeah, that's part of the charm for some people. Is the storylines is what I mean.
So Cam Scatterbo,
Yes.
along with the rest of his New York Giant teammates, were at Monday Night Raw on Monday at Madison Square Garden. And 30 Dominic Mysterio, who is a pest, by the way. I mean, he is just the worst.
I'll take your word for it. Yeah.
Grimy.
Okay.
Smug.
Just
disrespectful to his Hall of Fame father.
So is a villain. Yeah.
Calls his dad, Rey Mysterio, one of the nicest guys of all time. A deadbeat dad.
Why
You know what, Dom? You're a deadbeat.
Why would he do
And
that?
you're a loser.
Yeah, he's a loser.
Now,
I cheer against.
Dominic Mysterio decided that he was going to get in the face and start trash talking Cam Scatterbo and the rest of the New York Football Giants, who are hanging out with Andrew Schultz, who's I want to say SNL actor,
maybe okay,
podcaster,
Yeah, Andrew Schultz,
sweet looking mustache,
but one of those guys, well-known guy.
And starts a little conflict there.
Oh, this guy, yeah.
Dom gives a good 2-hand shove to Schultz, and then instantly it's on.
Because
Cam Scatterbo jumps up. Now, remember, Cam Scatterbo has a broken leg.
He just got
in like
he just
4
got
different
surgery.
places.
He just got surgery. on
Got
that
surgery
bad boy.
within the last month, and is sitting ringside at Monday Night Raw, and then also tipping the cap back, and then he also gets a little action. Gets the hands to the chest.
He up.
Gives a full 2-hand shove, knocks dirty Dominic Mysterio on his ass.
Which, New Yorkers like, because Cam Scatterbo's like their Captain America right now.
That's their guy right now.
Yeah.
The rest of the team bows up.
Of course.
Gets him out of
Follow the
harm's
leader.
way.
Yeah.
I think Andrew Thomas was over there, big left tackle. All's well that ends well.
Lineman, of course.
And instantly, left tackle, he's protecting, blindside. Now, instantly, that's going to be a good trend online. Anytime WWE reaches actual professional sports or into pop culture, gets a little bit of a pop.
Sure.
Giants fans understandably so, had a couple of questions off of just breaking your leg in multiple places. Maybe not the best thing to be hanging out and getting into a, as some said, scripted melee. I saw one television outlet call it a brawl with with professional wrestlers. It was into a bit. It was into an act.
It's a brawl as much as the Sharks and the Jets were a brawl.
There was definitely some pushing and shoving, but nobody was in serious danger. Nobody was nervous. Tyrone Tracy, backup running back, said, I wasn't there last night, but you best believe I was fighting. I was fighting at home, though, telling him to duck, sit down. Cam's a wild man. So, I mean, everybody knows that. So if he's going to go out there and do what he do, he's going to do it.
And he tweeted, too.
Andrew Thomas said, Cam's crazy. Cam Scadaboo also doesn't give a rip if you're upset about it, because Armen, he responded yesterday in his tweet of it. He said, hey, honestly, if you don't like that I'm having a good time while dealing with a tough time, then you just go ahead and unfollow and casually move on. I'm not able to play football and have fun. I'm not able to play football and have the fun I've been having my whole life. So I'm doing things outside the box, trying to find stuff to keep me happy. Enjoy the rest of y'all's week and just don't talk about me if you ain't got nothing nice to say. Foot was off the ground and the boys had my back. Trust me, I wouldn't do anything to jeopardize anything.
And that last part's the key. Like, do you really think that a guy like that is going to be so stupid to do something, or the organization, or whatever it is? Are they going to set this thing up and really put him in harm's way? Like, don't be silly. Don't be silly and actually think they're going to put him in harm's way and get him in a real fight and a real brawl. This is not a bar fight. This is not, even him doing
not to make
with
light
his
of
kids
it.
in
It's
the
not a
backyard.
situation that happened, like you said, a bar fight. It's not the situation that happened with the New York Jets player.
No.
In a scuffle outside of a club or an establishment or a restaurant. You're right.
This is an important time to emphasize the fact that wrestling is fake. I'm going to say it a bit.
Yeah.
Therefore, they have set something up to know, like, what
They
are
knew
your
what was
limitations? Are you good with this? Can you do this without being like, come on. Like, and this is like classic New York media, I think, jumping on something because Cam's a star and this is the crucible he's in. Now, I appreciate him tweeting back. Also, like, people aren't going to stop talking about you. You're the star now for the New York Jets.
That
Giants,
part of it, brother,
Okay.
the casually move on. No one's casually moving on.
It's cool for him to request it, but it's not going to happen. That being said, I wish when people had this conversation about it, they have it with a little more less unseriousness. Does that make any sense? Like, be honest. Like, you honestly think they're going to put him in harm's way from his rehab, from his thing and all that? You think he wants that? No. Let the guy go and have his fun. This was the same thing, Billy, when Dennis Rodman during the Bulls season went to go wrestling. Everyone's like, oh, Dennis Rodman's leaving. A lot of these guys, they want to have a night out and they want to take an opportunity to do something fun just like anybody would. And for them, being part of a big wrestling event is a dream for them, and it's a lot of fun. And as he said, it's going to keep him happy for now. So if you're a Giants fan, you shouldn't be worried. You should be happy that he's staying happy.
And also, pardon me, it was JD McDonough who he tossed on his hind parts.
Oh,
and that guy is one of the looniest looking guys.
Okay, so there you go. He's another one.
Looks like an absolute.
He's another
hat.
one. He's another one of these guys.
Judgment Day. Armen, you would beat up the Judgment Day.
I doubt it. Hey,
I totally believe it. You would hit him with a forearm shiver like you did yesterday to that really unsuspecting. I can't remember who randomly caught that stray. We had a 9 o'clock hour stray that you tossed on somebody that was just ruthless. Somebody on the NicolayLaw.com talking text line will be able to help us out here.
Is there a chance that something like this could go wrong? I guess would be the only thing I'd worry about. Like he basically was stood up and shoved.
He broke his leg 4 weeks ago. I assume there's something that could have gone wrong.
Yeah.
I totally do.
Let me ask you this though. He didn't run up on a guy.
No, he stands up. Like he's in the front row.
Okay.
Stands up, gets the shove, kind of gets knocked back into his chair a little bit.
Also, he has a strong upper body.
Yes.
So he doesn't need the leg push that you might need.
Now,
I might need. Go ahead.
I love it. I do think that Cam Scadaboo probably had an interesting conversation with Joe Shane of the New York Giants the next day where he said,
Mr. Mara.
Excuse me, Cameron, are you aware of clause 18.3 subsection 42D of your contract?
Yeah.
That prohibits you from stepping outside of the lines of competitive football.
It's right here, son.
Right here. Big paper pop. Armen, they would hit a big paper pop on that one, showing right here's the fine line of don't ever do that again.
You think John Mara had a good time with that?
I assume John Mara let him know that
he's the most button-up guy.
I know what our fans want to see, and our fans don't want to see professional wrestling. Our fans don't want to see
you
at Madison Square Garden pushing some clown named JD McDonough.
Son, you represent the New York Giants. You have a high responsibility here.
Now, if you were a New York Jets player, you go around and do all that nonsense you want.
Go
Mark Gastineau on it, and everybody would be fine with
He's such a middle school principal, man. Middle school principal. Not high school, middle school.
Definitely a middle school one. Mixed, not going to continue. I was gonna continue down that path that you set forward, and we were going to potentially really aggravate a large amount of people on the NicolaLaw.com talking text line 877-794-1973. And we appreciate all with us. Dan and Monona. Giants fans are still suffering from the Plaxico Burress memories, so they think their players are that stupid.
That's actually a great point.
It's a great point. Not actually the issue. We also on the YouTube stream used to be a wrestling mark. Now only watch WrestleMania TKO ruined it after Vince sold it. Well, that's fair. There you go.
And Dobler, if you don't think we're talking real sports, this was a real sports story. That's the point.
It actually intersected with real sports.
Come on, Dobler.
How would Packers
know better than that?
Okay, make it just localize it as quickly as possible. Jaden Reed.
Yes.
Jaden Reed a month ago. Raw's in Green Bay.
Yeah.
And Jaden Reed tosses JD McDonough on the ground. Would we have been upset about it?
Yes. A lot of people would have been very upset about this. Yes. That's the funny part. Yes.
A lot of people are upset about it. Maybe the same people that are saying, hey, Giants fans, how about you calm down? You guys suck. You're 2-9 and we just beat you. 877-794-1973.
Not when it's my guy.
It's my guy. It's a little different. But it's my player. It's a little different. Giannis goes down the other night. We got clarification on how long the Bucks will be without the Greek Freak. Better news than feared. We'll discuss that before Dave Sinekin talks Packers and Vikings on the other side of the border battle from KFAN in Minnesota. He's Armen. I'm Billy. It's no BS on the game.
97.3 The Game. This is what's trending in Milwaukee now.
Stay tuned.
You do like to grab attention.
No BS will be back in just a moment.
Now, a year in rock spotlight, 1969.
In May of 69, Neil Young releases his first album with Crazy Horse, Everyone Knows This Is Nowhere, featuring the songs Cinnamon Girl and Down by the River. The Who released the double concept album Tommy, which goes top 10 in the US and the UK.
He can be my best. Disciples needed him, and he just does the rest. Stop crazy, never faithless. Never seen him fall. That gift of a blind kid sure plays a beat him fall.
David Bowie's single Space Oddity, released to coincide with the Apollo 11 moon landing, reaches number 5 in the UK. Also in July, Bob Dylan has a top 10 hit with Lay Lady Lay in his new, deeper-sounding vocal style, which he attributes to quitting smoking.
Whatever colors you have in your mind, I show them to you, and you see them shine. Lay, lady, lay, lay across my big brass bed.
Blood, Sweat, and Tears have a number 2 hit with Spinning Wheel, popularizing the so-called brass rock movement that includes BST, Chicago, and Electric Flag.
Drop all your troubles by the riverside. Catch a painted pony on the spinning wheel ride.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more from 1969. Coming up. Now, a year in rock spotlight, 1968.
Born to be wild.
In January of 1968, Steppenwolf released their debut album, including the single Born to Be Wild, which charts at number 2 in the U.S. Johnny Cash records 2 live shows at California's Folsom Prison, along with June Carter and Carl Perkins. Also in January, the Beatles are number 1 with Hello Goodbye. In London, they launched their own company, Applecore, with a store, a recording studio, and record label. February of 68, Pink Floyd lead singer Syd Barrett is checked into a psychiatric hospital and the band replaces him with David Gilmour. The Beatles, Donovan, Mia Farrow, and others travel to India to study transcendental meditation with Maharishi Mahesh Yogi. And Bill Graham opens the Fillmore East concert venue in an abandoned New York City theater. April of 1968, the musical Hair opens on Broadway for the first of 1,750 performances. It would spawn several top 40 hits, including Aquarius, Good Morning Starshine, and Hair. Simon and Garfunkel released their album Bookends, which goes to number 1 in the US and the UK. The single Mrs. Robinson would go to number 1 in June, thanks to the movie The Graduate.
God bless you, please, Mrs. Robinson. Heaven holds a place for those who pray. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more. From 1968, coming up.
iHeartRadio! Here are the top Queen songs that you've thumbed up. Number 3, We Are the Champions. Number 2, We Will Rock You.
You got mud on your face, big disgrace. Somebody better put your bag into your place. We will rock you. Sing it. We will rock you.
Number 1, Another One Bites the Dust.
Another one bites the dust, and another one gone, and another one gone, another one bites the dust. Hey, gonna get you too, another one bites the dust.
Hear more from Queen and similar artists now. Search for Queen on iHeartRadio. All your favorite music, all your favorite stations, all free.
iHeartRadio soundtrack flashback.
Was there anything Queen couldn't do? Flash Gordon hit screens in 1980 and gave us a soundtrack / Queen album for the ages. The Flash theme still conjures positive vibes to this day.
King of the impossible. He's for every one of us.
For more great movie soundtrack hits, check out Popcorn Radio on the iHeartRadio app.
I'm not a player, I just crush a lot.
Still got what you're looking for.
I'm not a player, I just crush a lot.
I was very excited to hear how they edited out.
Oh, yeah.
And changed that up to crush a lot.
Were you nervous?
No, I was just intrigued. Intrigued
You knew it was
is the right way of putting it.
Well, you knew I had the clean version because you know it's me.
I knew that. I knew that one for a fact. I was just very
the-
excited to see how they found a way around that.
This is one of the bigger challenges. This song was always one of the bigger
Not a player,
challenges.
I just crush a lot.
Yeah, this was always one of the big challenges for the radio edit. And your boy Armen, as a young child, heard this song a lot on the radio, and it was a sobering moment in life when I grew up one day and learned that the real version of the song was not Crush. I didn't know.
Oh, you thought it was Crush?
I never had the album. I only heard it on the radio. Right? I'm growing up. I heard this song on the radio, and
I'm not a player, I just crush a lot.
you know,
I'm
I'm
just
like,
a player. I'm not a player.
like,
I just
oh.
crush a lot.
That's what it sounds like.
That's what that is.
Yeah. One of the kids, I think I knew a kid in high school that had
Crush.
the album. One of the bad kids, I'm
One of
just
the
kidding.
bad kids. One of those that were allowed to have the parental consent.
No, listen, explicit advisory.
Explicit
parental
advisory, pardon me,
explicit-
yes.
You have the CD. This was a dirty song, man, if you listen to it.
Oh, absolutely. Well, and listen, it's not the only one. There's plenty, and that's where I had a good conversation with a friend of mine who has like a 6 or a 7-year-old.
Sure.
And said, dude, I can't. They just keep doing it. I'm like, but also think about it this way.
What, the 6'7" deal?
The 6'7" deal.
Who cares?
But I'm like, listen.
Yeah.
We also listen to Biggie, Tupac.
We listen to the worst stuff too. We did
Just a little bit by 50 Cent was going to be my walk-up song when I was a kid.
We listened to Magic
Do you
Stick.
understand what that is saying? The whistle song is not about blowing a referee whistle. Potentially something different. So there's a lot of things that were probably across enemy lines, across the bounds, that we were all cool with. Let the kids have their day. Let the kids have some fun. 877-794-1973. Oh God. I mean, seriously, you just listen to this and you're like, wait a second, what is this? What are we talking about?
Talk about refereeing. Talk about
Let me know. Did I get my feet set?
You're right about that, Billy. Man, that's even dirty for this situation that we're in right now. You know what I mean? It's even like,
here we go. Yeah, that's it. That's as quick as it happens.
You're right about that, Billy.
Now, I just locked this in. We're going to talk to Dave Sinekin in 10 minutes from right now.
Excited for that.
From Minneapolis of KFAN, has done the Packers preview show for, I got to make sure we confirm it with Dave. I want to say 27 years, almost 30 years, potentially more, in Minneapolis on the Vikings flagship, our sister station, KFAN. So Dave is going to have a very, very fun angle of how difficult this has got to be. TC Head Cheese is where you follow him online.
Let's go.
I'm excited to be able to talk to him about that. We're going to talk to Tim Allen coming up in an hour and 10 minutes from right now.
Yes.
Franchise is going to join us at 9:00.
Saw his video on Facebook last night.
I missed that.
Of him talking about the offseason a bit, him ripping a heater on the front porch somewhere. You know what I mean? So you have to check that out.
I got to see Tim Allen in person in the band.
You went to the
Conviction
party?
at Brewski's last week.
Yeah.
And I think maybe we play that song for him and see if they're going to start playing the whistle song.
That'd be a great cover.
But you
probably need a harmonica guy in the I mean, how do you mimic the whistle in a live band, like a cover band?
You just got to have somebody that's very, very talented.
Not part of the cover band usually repertoire. You won't hear that at St. Rita's.
Probably not getting that at any of the church festivals.
Yeah,
no,
Rita's,
I can't imagine so. I don't know if that one would be even okay for like cover band at Liquid Johnny's. Right, you're playing a Wednesday night set somewhere, and all of a sudden you bust out the whistle song, and everyone's like, "Wait, this is that kind of party?"
Maybe Dan Jansen Fest. Maybe
late Saturday night,
which is when it goes down. Right?
Like that's when you got to make sure all the families are out of the parking lot by the time that one fires up. How late Dan Jansen Fest go? 11?
I think it was about that. Yeah, I'm trying to remember.
Riff Raff join at the 10.
That's when we got crazy.
Just when the headliner goes on.
That's when Layton Avenue started popping off. You know,
the Miller Lite Oasis. 877-794-1973. Packers and Vikings coming up this week. We're going to talk about it with our friend Dave Sinekin on the other side from TC Head Cheese of KFAN. Does the Packers preview show and has for a long time on the flagship home of the Minnesota Vikings, and he is fighting the good fight, carrying the G, as we like to say, and like we did with our friend Aaron Nagler, he's doing daily. What's the feelings on JJ McCarthy actually coming into Lambeau and getting a dub like the Vikings have done each of the last 2 trips to Lambeau Field with multiple different quarterbacks? There's a victory with Kirk Cousins as the starting quarterback. There's a victory for the Vikings with Sam Darnold at quarterback. They try to do it with J.J. McCarthy coming up this week, and the Packers try to all but end the playoff hopes for the Vikings. We talk about it with Dave Sinekin on the other side, and we reach halftime of the week on No BS next.
Let's discuss something. Either we love it or
Want to watch No BS?
We'll do anything it takes.
They're live on YouTube, Facebook, and X right now.
We have a place for it.
Just search 97.3 The Game. It's Border Battle Week. Stay with the game as we get you ready for the Packers and Vikings.
From 27 yards left hash. Snap good. Spot down. Walsh's kick is up. And it is no good. He missed it. Are you kidding me? The season can't end like that. Seattle Seahawks are off to Charlotte. 10-9. Favre goes back to pass. He pumps. Now he fires over the middle. Intercepted. I can't believe what I'm seeing right now. It was intercepted by Tracy Porter near side to the 40, and John Sullivan runs him down at the 47-yard line. You've got to be kidding me. I can't believe what I just saw. Looking at that play, he should have just held on to it, Paul. He should have. He could have easily got 5 or 6 yards if he would have just pulled that thing down and dove forward. But why do you even ponder passing? I mean, you can take a knee and try a 56-yard field goal. This is not Detroit, man. This is the Super Bowl.
Welcome to Rivalry Week. Welcome to the border battle. CJ in Columbus said, I think there's one in Arizona where he says the kick is good and the Vikings kicker ended up missing it. CJ, your memory is correct.
High snap, put down. Joseph, come on! It is good! No, he missed it. Good. Are you kidding me? He missed it right. He missed it right. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my. He missed it right. What a gut punch to a team, Paul, that play after play, toward the end, fought its way back. Missed it by like a foot.
Wayne also told us about that one because of where they were. He's like, you can't see the numbers, you can't see the kick, whatever it ends up being. But it is just a hilarious moment. But it's not even my favorite Paul Allen call that involves
Arizona.
The Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah. Run, PA. 17, 16, 15.
See, they have to go deep into the end zone.
We better put some people in the end zone, right, Joe?
That's exactly right.
I mean, there's nobody inside the 10.
Get back.
Here it is. The season's on the line. 2 receivers left and right. McCown takes the snap. He steps up. He's all by himself. Fires into the end zone. Caught! Touchdown! No! No! The Cardinals have knocked the Vikings out of the playoffs. I believe it was caught by Nate Poole.
It was.
He's being mugged by his Cardinal teammates. They're Minnesota Vikings crying on the field.
Oh, and we love to see that part, Paul. Thank you for that last little drop. And thank you to our sister station, KFAN, for all of that illustrious audio.
Listen to No BS with Billy and Armen every weekday from 6 to 10 right here on The Game.
Now, a year in rock spotlight, 1967.
Van Morrison, formerly of the band Them, has a number 10 hit as a solo artist with Brown Eyed Girl. In July, LA band The Grassroots scored their first top 10 hit with Let's Live for Today. And UK supergroup Cream, featuring guitarist Eric Clapton, toured the US for the first time.
In the sunshine of your love.
And in September, Janis Joplin's band Big Brother and the Holding Company signed with Columbia Records and released their debut album. October of '67, Memphis band The Box Tops, including 17-year-old gravel voice singer Alex Chilton, have a number 1 hit with The Letter.
Ticket for an aeroplane. Ain't got time to take a fast train. Lonely days are gone. I'm a going home. My baby used to repair leather. My baby used to repair leather.
And in November, the first issue of Rolling Stone magazine is published in San Francisco, featuring an interview with John Lennon. The Who have their first and only U.S. top 10 hit with I Can See for Miles. In December, they smashed their instruments on the Smothers Brothers TV show.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more from 1967, coming up.
iHeartRadio goes one-on-one with Neil Sean to ask about Journey's music being featured in the final episode of The Sopranos.
I did follow The Sopranos, and I watched it when I wasn't working. And I remember getting an email months prior to the last episode. And it was, I believe it was from the director. And he was, basically saying, hey, we're talking about using Don't Stop Believing in the final episode of Sopranos. And I went, oh, cool. That's cool. If it happens, great. If it doesn't, it's cool too. And I wasn't glued to the TV. I was actually on the internet, and my phone just started blowing up. People were like, dude, did you see that? And I was like, what? And it was just like I got so many calls one after another. Got to see the episode, the next day. And I was like, wow, this is just amazing.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more Neil Sean and all your favorite artists.
What you waiting for? Let's go. Make sure to make us a preset on the iHeartRadio app so you can listen to us anytime, anywhere. Wisconsin's home for sports and stuff. We are the game.
Uh-oh. Guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? Huh? Anybody? Julie, hey, guess what day it is? Oh, come on. I know you can hear me. Mike. What day is it, Mike? Leslie, guess what today is?
It's hump day.
Woo-hoo!
Still rocking in Wisconsin. It's halftime of the week here on the No BS Morning Show. I'm Billy Schmid. That's Armen Sarian. Rock with us at 877-794-1973. Beautiful time to split the week in half and hang out with all of you and now officially fully flip the page. Turn it to the divisional slate in the Packers schedule. Next 3 games will be all in the NFC North, and it starts out with the 200th meeting between the Minnesota Vikings and the Green Bay Packers. And here to talk about it now with us, TC Head Cheese on social media is where you follow Dave Sinekin. He hosts Packers Preview, has done that since 1996. That had to have been a good year to start up a Packers show on the flagship of the Minnesota Vikings, KFAN. Dave Sinekin joins us now. Dave, that had to have been now, was that into the Super Bowl year and everyone's like, hold on, we're going to give this guy a Packers show and then they're going to instantly win the Super Bowl? You had to have been by far the most hated man in this Twin Cities, and it just rolled on for the next 29.
Yeah, morning, guys. I think I've held the title for 30 years now. I actually pitched the show to KFAN in '95. I just moved here from Chicago, and they vetoed it because they were the Viking station in '95. But then they lost the Vikings to WCCO radio in '96, and that's when they gave me the green light and said, "All right, go ahead." And it was an amazing start the first year to have that show. The year the Packers won the Super Bowl, I got to go down and cover the game. It was amazing. And then 5 years later, that's when KFAN got the Vikings rights back. And by that point, we had such a following that they really couldn't deny us. They just moved me back an hour to give them a little buffer between my show and Vikings programming. So, yeah, it's been a pretty good run. We get the last laugh more often than not up here.
Well, it's amazing, Dave, and very true over the years about the last laugh. But I always specifically single out you and your show for my love of Packers fans and the exceptionalism I have for Packers Nation and the Packers fan base. Because I always said, look, our fan base is so good that there's a Packers show that's very successful in Minnesota, in enemy territory, on the flagship. You don't see that happening here in Milwaukee and Wisconsin, that there's a Viking show, you know? So thanks to you, it's always set us apart by definition, and always been a great example for me to brag to how great our fan base is compared to others. So thank you, Dave.
No, I appreciate that. You know, it reminds me of back at the morning of the 2010 NFC Championship game against the Bears. I was at a Starbucks on Michigan Avenue in Chicago getting set to go across the street to the radio station to do my show the morning of the game. And in walks Peter King. And I had always said to myself, I wonder if I'm the only guy that's doing this. Like, is there a Ravens show in Cleveland? Is there a Raiders show in Kansas City?
Right.
And so I went up to Peter King and I introduced myself and I told him what I did, and he just sort of shook his head and said, "Wait, run that by me again?" So I told him what I did, and he said, "No, man, I can absolutely tell you, you're the only person in this country that's doing a show on his rivals' flagship station." So it was nice to get that from Peter King. He shook my hand and said, "Good for you." And I tried to not to look at the giant frozen booger in his nose. I just couldn't take my eyes off. But that was a pretty cool moment for sure.
That is phenomenal. This is Dave Sinekin, TC Head Cheese, where you can follow him on Twitter, and then theheadcheese.com. And then you can also find the radio show on KFAN. And Dave joins Paul Allen during their football feast coming up on Friday. I imagine, do you walk in full WWE style? We talked about the Camp Scadaboo story a couple of minutes ago. Do you just walk in full heel and the entire place blow up as you walk in either like a Reggie White, maybe this year a nice fresh green #1 Micah Parsons, or an old school Bart Starr, and the whole place just blows up? Because that place gets raucous for the football feast.
Yeah, it's an amazing experience for me. I don't even know how many years it's been, but we always time it where I'm sitting in the Buffalo Wild Wings parking lot waiting for the break to end, and I wait till the music comes back, and that's when I get myself into the place as fast as I can, so the boos are picked up on the audio.
Perfect.
And yeah, I do feel like I'm gonna date myself, but I kind of feel like Rowdy Piper, you know, when I walk in, and the boos just rain down on me. I'll probably go with the Nitschke jersey. That's kind of my go-to for this kind of thing. And yeah, I'm all green and gold. There's always a couple Packer fans that are cheering and jumping up and down, but no, it is such a great feeling to just get booed your ass off. And I'll look forward to doing it on Friday in lovely Blaine, Minnesota.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And the Nitschke jersey, always a good choice. Always showing you're ready.
That's
going
to be a winner. Yes,
always ready for battle and the toughness. And we'll get to the Packer side of it in a little bit. But I'm curious. You know, you're in enemy territory. What's the feeling about the Vikings right now in Minnesota and amongst the Vikings fans and McCarthy specifically? Obviously, you know, young quarterback. There's always an excitement there. He's shown some great flashes, but kind of had the weird injury situation that, you know, left him out for multiple weeks. And now he's back, and they almost got the win against the Bears, but didn't. What's the general consensus on this whole situation with McCarthy right now?
Guys, it's approaching DEFCON 1.
Really?
The Viking fans here are freaking out because it's not just you know, the performance on the field from time to time. He's got mechanics that don't look like they're going to be an easy fix. Like, he can't throw to his left. He literally cannot throw to his left. And you know, they've got a team that's built to win right now. They were just trumpeting the fact that, we've got a quarterback on a rookie contract and we can put all these veterans around him and compete. And by the way, our coach is a quarterback whisperer. You see what he did with Cousins and Darnold? And heck, he's turned Daniel Jones into a guy. He didn't even play for the Vikings. He was just on the team last year. So they just expected Kevin O'Connell to mold this kid into an instant viable starter. And it's clear he's not close to that. And the thing is, he gives you these moments like, okay, he was terrible for 58 minutes last week, but then he gets that last drive to give him the lead, and now you're feeling better. But that's the exception, not the rule. The body of work this year is somewhat alarming. He looks like the kind of guy that if you're going to go with him, you just got to take your lumps. And unfortunately for the Vikings, they don't have a roster built for taking lumps. They have a roster built for winning now. So it's going to be very instructive to see what happens with the last 7 or 8 games. But Viking fans up here are in freak-out mode because it's been decades of them trying to find a franchise quarterback. They thought they had it with Culpepper and Bridgewater, and now with O'Connell and McCarthy, they were just giddy about this partnership. And the truth doesn't lie. It looks ugly right now.
Well, and it's got to be painful seeing all the other quarterbacks in that class outside of Penix really have their moment too, right? Nix has one of the best records in the AFC. Caleb Williams has looked good in spurts in the fourth quarter, but has been erratic. And Drake May's been awesome. And obviously what Jaden Daniels did last year, it's got to be frustrating from that angle. And I wonder, Dave, is there somewhat buyer's remorse, and which one's tougher? Or I should say seller's remorse, not being able to go and bring back Sam Darnold, bring back Daniel Jones for what he's doing in Indianapolis. And obviously there were rumors and there was enough smoke that Aaron Rodgers was a possibility in that building. Is like A, B, or C the one that Viking fans are most disappointed they didn't go with out of those three?
Yeah, I don't know if Rodgers ultimately is where Viking fans wanted to hang their hat because, you know, I don't think they really thought that was going to be the pot of gold. They really wanted a guy they could trust for the next 5, 6, 7 years. So there was a large contingent of Viking fans that really wanted Darnold back on a franchise tag, despite the way the season ended with those 2 bad performances in big games. But I think the biggest buyer's remorse is there was a lot of reporting up here after that draft that internally the Vikings were completely in love with Drake May, and they had hoped to try to make a move up to take Drake May. That was the guy that was the apple of their eye. And he looks like the guy that might be the best guy ultimately out of that draft class. I mean, obviously Daniels, if he can stay healthy, showed a lot last year. But I think a lot of the fan base up here at this point is starting to feel snake bit. And, I think they almost have to just tie themselves to McCarthy and understand there's going to be a whole lot of growing pains. But they just have to hope that there's going to be growth, because they can't get on a treadmill right now and jump off the McCarthy train. They're kind of stuck with him. And, I think they realize that, man, there's a long way to go to get from here to there.
Well, I kind of like that. I like hearing all these things. I like hearing their frustration.
Not kind of. I really like that.
And
I'm a big fan of everything Dave's telling me.
I got news for you. If you're a Vikings fan, you're starting to feel snake bit. Joke's on you. You've been snake bit for 50 years, 60 years. So so I'm just starting to feel snake bit. I have no sympathy for you. But I wonder, and I also wonder, you talked about how they're built to win now, the veteran, the talent on that roster, Jefferson, Addison, all these guys, right? And what's that going to be like? I mean, will that start to crumble? Will there start to be a frustration there? This is a very tough division. And even if they got in a run and won some games, it's going to be hard for them to overtake all these teams that are winning games, Dave.
Yeah, and we started to see it a bit on the field. It started with the Ravens game when Justin Jefferson did not go after defenders who intercepted 2 passes thrown his way. He just sort of stood there and didn't make any kind of effort and really got slammed up here, really for the first time, for a lack of effort. He's been a great leader of this team, and they love everything about him, but that was not a good look. And, forget just the big-name receivers. They brought in big-time veteran reinforcements on the offensive line and defensive line, because that's what was going to be the missing key to this team. So they've got a lot of guys, a lot of tread on their tires that really thought this was their chance maybe to join a team and make a run. And they're going to be in salary cap hell. They got no money to spend next year. They kind of have to run it back with all these guys getting a year older. And the frustration is climbing, and you can see it on both sides of the ball. And they just don't have, I don't think, enough leaders that can sort of say, look, we have to go with this kid. Publicly, they're supporting the guys you hear from the Vikings are supporting McCarthy all the way, which you kind of have to have. The coaching staff here is really strong, but again, you see what you got with this kid, and I think the reality is setting in. I mean, they're just a few weeks away from going to Detroit and shocking the Lions. So I think there's a number of those players that still believe, but man, you watch the tape, man. Tape don't lie, as we like to say. That performance last week was alarming against the Bears team, where basically the vibe up here was the season's on the line. This is a must-win game. You do not lose a home game against Chicago or it's over, because they got to go to Green Bay and Seattle for the next 2 weeks, and still the schedule doesn't get much easier beyond that. So, yeah, it's as you guys say, as we like to say on K-Fan, whenever the Packers struggle, they always like to play that old Batman show Joker soundbite where he goes delicious. For Packer fans, it's delicious right now watching the dysfunction in Viking land.
Yeah, and when we know things go wrong up there, a lot of times we just play your friend Paul's calls and we just hit the no as loud as possible, and it makes things a lot better. It is one of those times where you feel like there might not be a quick way out. You look at the defense as well, Dave. They got a lot of high-priced guys that came in who were towards the back end of their careers, and I don't know if they've gotten anywhere what they expected they would see from Jonathan Allen or Javon Hargrave. I know they were missing Andrew Van Ginkel for a while, and he's been a totally key cog for what Flores wants to run and how blitz-heavy they'll be. But those guys have felt a little bit underwhelming in the interior of that defense, which felt like it was going to take another big step forward after being a pretty prolific unit a year ago.
That's 100% true. Those guys have not given them what they had hoped, and you bring in older guys that have crossed 30 and have a lot of miles on them. You're kind of rolling the dice a little bit. They're really good at the linebacker spot. You mentioned Van Ginkel, Blake Cashman, Jonathan Grenard, who missed the game last week but is expected back for the Packer game. Those guys are terrific. But beyond that, there's not much up front. Dallas Turner, the lottery pick from a year ago, has been up and down and gets fined basically every time he puts his, fist in the dirt. And their secondary is atrocious. Their secondary is absolutely terrible. They let Cam Bynum go to the Colts. He was kind of the heart and soul. Harrison Smith is still there. He'll turn 50 this week, I think. So, if you can protect Jordan Love on Sunday a little bit, he's going to find a lot of room downfield for open receivers. They don't guard very well. Brian Flores is always a good coach. He'll scheme things up, but he's not getting help from his old guys. And again, that's how they decided to build this team. Is we don't have to spend money on our quarterbacks, so we're going to bring in these 30-something guys and try to get one last go out of them. And those guys haven't delivered.
You mentioned the secondary, and you mentioned how the loss of Bynum has definitely affected them. Was it as clean cut and as much as it looked like from the outside, where it was like they could either have Cam Bynum or they could have Byron Murphy? They chose Byron Murphy, and he's been underwhelming, and Cam Bynum seems like he was what they had in the building a year ago now with Indianapolis.
I do think it's kind of that simple. They did have to make some tough choices. Bynum, they were both solid last year, but I thought Bynum, despite beyond the great celebration dances that he choreographs every week in a high school gymnasium to get ready for the game, he was really a special player last year, and they made a decision because they knew cornerback was a spot where they just had nothing on the depth chart, and that's kind of the sneaky little problem that if you don't follow the Vikings really closely, you may not know about. The drafting of Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah, you look at their last 3 or 4 drafts he's been a part of, they've gotten virtually nothing from that draft class. I mean, they're all those draft classes. You look at McCarthy, that's the big one, but they have very few starters from the last few drafts. Not only that, not many guys left on the roster from the last few drafts, and that's where they're really stuck right now, because if you bring in veterans and they either can't stay healthy or they're not, up to the task, get that youth, get those young guys in there. They don't have young guys. The future is not so bright because the drafting's been terrible, and that's why I think they did renew Adolfo-Mensah's contract. But there is some rumblings that if this thing really turns pear-shaped the last half of the year, they might move on from the GM because the drafting has been absolutely abysmal the last few years.
I love the picture you're painting, Dave, and I hope all this is true because it did look like they were building a behemoth before this whole McCarthy season started up. And
Armen and I have been on a work to try to get Kevin O'Connell hired anywhere else in football. We've talked about it, like Miami Dolphin. That would be an awesome place to go coach. Potentially Jacksonville. Like, he could have found a lot of good places last year before he signed that contract.
Or maybe like he can be a private equity consultant, or I don't care what he does.
More money
as long as he's not
coaching
the Vikings. So I don't know. Maybe there's a hope there. And I know he was rumbling, or somebody was rumbling about the contractor in the playoffs last year. We don't know where that came from, but some people think it was from him. So boy, that'd be nice, wouldn't it, Dave?
Yeah, well, they waited a while to re-up him. And thought they waited too long because he had obviously proven what he could do. He's a great coach. There's no question. I mean, I always make fun of Matt LaFleur when I hear him in the locker room after a game giving out the game balls, because he still doesn't sound to me like a head coach. But Kevin O'Connell does. Like, he just has that gift when he's talking to his players, and players love him. And then I think I can criticize a lot of things about the Vikings, not Kevin O'Connell. He's a terrific coach, but his pen name as the quarterback whisperer is starting to take some knocks because his guy doesn't quite look ready for prime time at this point.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. He's one that gives me a lot of consternation as a Packers fan, because I know you can tell he is one of the top. I think it's like cautious to say he's one of the top 7 coaches in football, and I think he's generally a little bit higher up there. But you're right. This is ultimately going to be what you get judged on, how you develop this young quarterback, because everything you did with Cousins and Darnold only means so much. If this one can work out, who you've kind of hitched your wagon to. Final thing, Dave, for me, how are the Packers viewed right now in Minnesota by Viking fans? Because nationally, 4 weeks ago, everybody was picking them to go to the Super Bowl. They were the flavor of the day. Now they're a broken team. And I heard Nick Wright and Colin Cowherd yesterday saying, like, I don't know if they're going to make the playoffs, and how disappointing would that be? What's the viewpoint of this side of the border battle from the Minnesotans?
I think they're not real believers either. There's a large contingent of football fans up here that still refuse to believe that Jordan Love can lead this team anywhere, mostly because they don't want to believe that Green Bay has landed on a third straight, Pro Bowl, all-pro type quarterback. They see the performances against the lousy competition and say, how do you expect to go far when you can't even beat the Carolina Panthers or the Cleveland Browns? But I do think there's an element of fans that are a little worried because they know I've schooled them well up here. I remind them often that the Packers were 6-6 when they won the Super Bowl in 2010.
There we
That
go.
a lot can change between November and January. So there's that. I think inside, like I'm saying you're terrible because really I hope you're terrible. Look, we don't really know what this Green Bay Packers team is yet. We're going to learn a lot these next few weeks and obviously through the rest of the year. Minnesota's smart. They're going to try to run the ball 40 times on Sunday and keep the ball out of McCarthy's hands because they can run the ball. They've proven it. Aaron Jones is as healthy as he's been all season. You know, he's dying to have a big day. But I think most Viking fans ultimately just don't believe Green Bay has the right guy at quarterback. And like most Packer fans up here, I just cannot wait for the day to prove them wrong.
Well, I was just going to say, what are your thoughts on Jordan Love right now? Because we had a good, fun, contentious. Armen might be the wrong way of putting it, but I think spirited conversation yesterday because you want to talk about flavor of the day. He is as much of a roller coaster nationally in the conversation as any, and I think maybe we're getting a little bit like that in the fan base as well. One week we know that he's awesome and going for 20 completions. The next, the Carolina game is a part of it. Where are you sitting right now with the quarterback?
I love Jordan Love. I love everything I see from him. Yes, he has his off days. Yes, he has moments that make you cringe. But you look at the analytics, they don't lie. He's been a top 5 quarterback in the NFL this season. You look at the problems the Packers offense has had with keeping guys healthy, whether it's up front or at the receiver, tight end position. I think he's the exact right guy. I like everything I see from him. Just look at the fourth quarter comebacks on the road this season. 3 of them are wins, one's a tie. Ultimately, if I want to grade a quarterback, it's like, can you help bring your team back when everything's going bad? Oh, my dog has woken up.
He's mad now that you're talking well about Jordan Love.
Yep, he's got a different
Love
opinion.
Guy too. He's a Love believer as
good.
well. No, I'm a believer in Jordan Love. I think the Packers have the right guy. I think LaFleur's still figuring out the best way to push all the buttons, but no, I'm 100% behind number 10.
And Viking fans just hearing Dave say that, just going, no! Nothing better.
Love that.
Nothing better. Dave, appreciate it. Continue fighting the good fight. Can't wait to hear the bit on Friday. It's always one of my favorite times. You guys do a great job up there at KFAN. It's a phenomenal radio station, anchored by your coverage of the most important team in the border battle, the Green Bay Packers. Keep fighting the good fight, and let's go get a win on Sunday.
Sounds great, guys. Always a pleasure to chat with you.
Thanks for hanging out with us. That's TC Head Cheese on Twitter. Dave Sinekin of KFAN Packers Preview since 96 in Minnesota. Amazing. On the other side of the border battle. Now, he's had his tough days. I bet day after the Randy Moss Moon game
was not fun.
Was a tough morning for Dave to wake up. However, day after the Joe Webb game, probably a lot of fun for Dave.
See, you got to be able to take the medicine too in that situation, because you're going to take it and you're going to be able to dish it out. So it takes a tough man to do that, and Dave's the right guy.
Oh, no!
Well, man, as good as it gets.
There's not much better. No! Armen, do you think the Minnesota Vikings have a chance to put up a bunch of points against the Green Bay Packers with J.J. McCarthy at quarterback this week?
No! Hey, Billy, did the Vikings ever win a Super Bowl?
No! That was an easy one.
That was too easy.
That's a good one. We got plenty more times. We'll let you hit the Ask Paul Allen a question.
Well, I like that.
We'll let you ask PA a question throughout the day and figure out if you get the same answer as we got. No! At 877-794-1973. It is Viking week. It's an important week, but it's also no BS, and we're glad you're hanging out with us. We're going to talk some more baseball because Mark Attanasio gave a couple of quotes as well. We're going to talk about those and the Brandon Woodruff deal with our friend Tim Allen at the top of the 9 o'clock hour. A little college football in there as well, and more on this rivalry matchup that comes up at Lambeau on Sunday, because Dave touched on there. Very intriguing piece from the Minnesota side of the border battle. We'll discuss it on the other side. It's no BS on the game.
I mean, there's nobody inside the 10.
Get back, guys.
Here it is. The season's on the line. 2 receivers left and right. McCown takes the snap. He steps up. He's all by himself. Fires into the end zone. Caught! Touchdown! No! No! The Cardinals have knocked the Vikings out of the playoffs.
Stay tuned.
You do like to grab attention.
No BS will be back in just a moment.
Now, a year in rock spotlight, 1967. Van Morrison, formerly of the band Them, has a number 10 hit as a solo artist with Brown Eyed Girl. In July, LA band The Grassroots scored their first top 10 hit with Let's Live for Today, and UK supergroup Cream, featuring guitarist Eric Clapton, toured the US for the first time.
In the sunshine of your love.
And in September, Janis Joplin's band Big Brother and the Holding Company signed with Columbia Records and released their debut album. October of '67, Memphis band The Box Tops, including 17-year-old gravel voice singer Alex Chilton, have a number 1 hit with The Letter.
Ticket for an aeroplane. Ain't got time to take a fast train. Lonely days are gone. I'm a going home. My baby used to put me together. My baby used to put me together.
And in November, the first issue of Rolling Stone magazine is published in San Francisco, featuring an interview with John Lennon. The Who have their first and only U.S. top 10 hit with I Can See for Miles. In December, they smashed their instruments on the Smothers Brothers TV show.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more from 1967, coming up. Now, a year in rock spotlight, 1967.
Try to set the night on.
In January of 1967, Los Angeles band The Doors released their debut album, which eventually goes to number 2, and features the single Light My Fire, which goes to number 1 in July. The Rolling Stones released Ruby Tuesday, an ode to a groupie written by Keith Richards. The song takes them to number 1 in the U.S. in March. And San Francisco band The Jefferson Airplane released the surrealistic Pillow album, scoring 2 top 10 hits with White Rabbit and Somebody to Love.
Don't you want somebody to love? Don't you need somebody to love? Wouldn't you love somebody to love? You better find somebody to love.
In March of '67, Buffalo Springfield re-releases their debut album to include the hit single For What It's Worth. In April of '67, Give Me Some Lovin' by the Spencer Davis Group goes to number 7 in the U.S., with vocals by 17-year-old Steve Winwood. And in May, Elvis Presley marries his 21-year-old girlfriend Priscilla in Las Vegas. In May, Mitch Ryder hits number 4 with Devil with a Blue Dress, Good Golly Miss Molly. And the Jimi Hendrix Experience released their debut in the UK. In July, they toured the U.S. as the opening act for the Monkees in support of the U.S. album release.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more from 1967, coming up. Now, a year in rock spotlight from 1977.
September of '77, American duo Steely Dan released their 6th album, Asia. It goes to number 3 in the States on the strength of 2 top 20 hits, Peg and Deacon Blues. In October, the major label debut album by Meatloaf is released. Hits number 14 in the U.S. and goes on to be one of the best-selling albums of all time. Leonard Skinner released the album Street Survivor. 3 days later, singer Ronnie Van Zant and 2 other band members are killed in a plane crash. The album goes to number 5 in the States, and the single What's Your Name hits number 13.
What's your name, little girl? What's your name?
In November, Eric Clapton's Slow Hand is released. It goes to number 2, driven by 3 hit singles, Cocaine, Wonderful Tonight, and Lay Down Sally.
Lay down, Sally, and rest here in my arms. Don't you think you want someone to talk to?
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more from 1977, coming up.
iHeartRadio is the easy-to-use app for music and radio. Download the free iHeartRadio app today.
We call it Wagertainment.
All right, place your bets, place your bets.
VSiN, every night at 6. Presented by Potawatomi Sportsbook. Bet above the rest on Fox Sports 920.
iHeartRadio goes one-on-one with Brian Adams to discuss how he comes up with song titles.
Yeah, actually, a lot of my song titles are mumbles. With Cuts Like a Knife, it was just like, we used to jam, Jim Valance and I would jam songs together. And I remember we listened back to the tape afterwards. And I said, that sort of sounded like Cuts Like a Knife. Didn't it sound like Cuts Like a Knife? It was, yeah. And I play it back, and yes, I said cuss like a knife. That's cool. And then he'd say, what about cuss like a knife, but it feels so right? I said, that's a good idea. So whatever that means. He makes sense of my mumbles.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more Bryan Adams and all your favorite artists.
Party rock! Yeah. Let's go. Party rock is in the house tonight. Everybody just have a good time.
Welcome back to 2013.
And we gon' make you look.
Remember the summer of 2013?
Everybody loved this one. Come on now.
Everywhere this summer.
Party rocking into rivalry week, Packers and Vikings. It's the game. I'm Billy. That's Armen. No BS continues. Our friend Tim Allen's going to join us in a half hour or two. Shake that? Maybe. We'll talk some Brewers baseball and discuss the changing of the contract situation for one Brandon Woodruff. And Will Salmon, along with Ken Rosenthal of The Athletic, put out a piece just a little while ago. Brewers don't see Brandon Woodruff's return as prelude to potential Freddie Peralta trade. Mark Attanasio said in a message to The Athletic Tuesday night.
Let's go. He's
Quote,
getting it out there. Getting it out there.
They're independent decisions Matt and his group will make. We're certainly excited about our rotation now.
Now I'm going to give Mark some credit here. Doing that work early, doing that PR work early.
Let me get out on it instantly.
Right away. Call Wilson, call whoever. Let him know this doesn't mean we're trading him. I want the fans to know right now we're not going to have another summer of passion entertainment type situation.
We're going to do this instantly. Matt Arnold, according to The Athletic, expressed nearly identical sentiments, adding, quote, independent decisions and excited about our rotation. The comments from the Brewers' top-ranking officials, however, do not completely rule out a trade. The Athletic continues. The Brewers' 2025 payroll was approximately $123 million, according to Fangraphs. Together for Peralta and Woodruff, set to make around $30 million. But Milwaukee could reduce the impact of Woodruff's acceptance of the qualifying offer by negotiating a multi-year deal with a lower annual average value. Now, I had not thought about that part.
Yeah.
I hadn't thought about signing the deal to then craft a bigger deal or another deal.
I hadn't either.
And maybe that's the way it goes. Armen, I guess I'm just looking at 27 as much of a black hole as possible.
I think that's fair. I think
and
it's
like, I
understandable.
don't know if baseball, but I can think that. Fans can think that. Outside media can think that, and some teams maybe can. I don't know that you can operate like that if you're the Milwaukee Brewers, right? If you're the actual baseball club and you're the front office and you're Matt Arnold, you got to be preparing like you are playing baseball in 27, no?
Or
like you got to be preparing, believing that everything is going to be still status quo. Because as hot and contentious and as frustrating as we can frustrated as we can make each side appear, as many times as Bryce Harper can tell the commissioner to get out of the clubhouse. At the end of the day, how does this stuff generally end? With
they come to some sort of
kind of
agreement.
resolution, both sides feeling like they gave up maybe a little too much, and then ultimately they play baseball.
And eventually it will. I mean,
and ultimately it's the pretty similar salary structure that you're still playing under right now.
We don't know how long it'll take, but eventually it will, Billy. And the other thing is this. They might be thinking of it different layers. Not we should assume we're going to play baseball and prepare for it.
Like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different opportunities, different plans. Yeah.
Or let's flip this around.
Oh, I like that.
Let's flip this around. How can we take advantage of the situation? How can we think differently than other teams are right now, worried about it? Is there opportunity in this situation?
That's fair, yes.
Is this market going to have inefficiencies that we can take advantage of? Our team's going to be afraid to sign guys, and all of a sudden we can be the team to sign guys, take that chance. I don't know that that's going to happen, but maybe they think of it as there's opportunity here, and we're gonna move a little different, right? Than people expect here. Sort of like, I'm going to give a weird comparison here.
Let me hear one.
You're playing in a poker tournament.
Okay.
The poker players out there.
Is Chauncey Billups playing this one?
No, this is a completely legal.
Got it. Okay,
on
sweet.
the
I just wanted to
above
make
board.
sure it wasn't a Damon Jones game because I'm going to try to get out of that game. But go ahead.
The
Yes.
poker players know this, right?
Yep.
When you're about to get into
they knew that was
when you're about to get into the bubble of the cash bubble, when you automatically cash when there's an amount of players left, everyone tightens up, right? A lot of people tighten up when they're about to get into the cash because they don't want to be the last guy out before you start making money. A lot of good players will take advantage of that and play more aggressively when they know everyone's tightening up. They'll take that chance. They'll say, everyone's going to make this move. I'm going to make this counter move to try and take advantage of the situation. If everybody around baseball is sitting there worried about the next labor negotiation, will we play baseball? Maybe we don't want to sign. Maybe we don't want to do those things. Brewers can say, okay, we'll spend a little more and load up and take the chance that everyone's going to be playing scared and we'll be aggressive.
And it also wouldn't be the first time the Brewers have done something like this.
Yeah.
I mean, they've definitely zigged when other teams have zagged before. It's kind of the only
way you can operate.
Way that you can consistently be able to remain somewhat competitive. And you can have at least a little bit of an advantage. I don't know. I also am still very skeptical that baseball has some massive financial undertaking. And all of a sudden, the sport that we've known for the last 100 plus years, that all of a sudden it's completely different.
I get that sense.
I
don't think it's going to be the hurricane that everyone thinks.
I really don't.
It'll end with a whimper and everyone will sign off.
Because at some point there's too much money here, Armen, to just blow everything up.
For guys to not get paid too. I mean, think about it.
For players to not get paid, GMs to not get paid, owners to not get paid, CEOs to not get paid, lawyers will get paid. So, I mean, if they're the ones that are ultimately making the final decision on a yes or a no, then maybe it is longer than I think. I do believe it's very messy. I think it gets very contentious. I think ultimately the fans are the ones that end up with the short end of the stick,
Always
with maybe
is.
a shorter spring training, whatever it ends up being, negotiated against using what the fans ultimately become of like the kids in a divorce, where you're supposed to either choose, well, do you agree with those greedy owners?
What side are you
or
on?
those greedy players?
Yeah. And you're like,
Well, I think all of you are being greedy sons of, because at some particular point, there's never enough. There will never be enough money for a player to see and say, I'm worth more than whatever this is. And there's never going to be enough zeros at the end of a bank account for the billionaires.
To say, I want to get richer, if I can.
And if we believe that we're on the right side of a deal, I don't care whatever is fair for everybody else. You know what I care about? My own personal wealth. That's why I'm in this position. That's why I'm in this chair.
Absolutely.
You don't get into a billionaire spot in an ownership suite by being a sweet individual and by doing what is always good for the collective good. Now, you can absolutely do good. A lot of them do a lot of very great humanitarian work, but they didn't get into that chair because of all of what they were doing there.
The problem
is
too,
ruthless business.
On the player side, you're going to need some brave souls that are willing to, like you said, sacrifice their own financial well-being, willing to not take money, not play, to try and reset the thing. Or owners will sit there and say, oh, we're going to play chicken. We're going to play chicken with you until, because the owners are the ones that are rich.
Yeah, and I mean, in a staring contest, what wins, a B or an M? The billionaire or a millionaire in a financial staring contest.
But they also have a lot more. See, people don't. You know this, Billy. Ownership consortiums are now groups of people that they have to please.
Very true.
They have to please a group of people now. They have multiple investors to say, hey, we got to start making money again here. I paid this. I'm an investor. Let's get this thing wrapped up so I can start making money. It's not just like one family ownership.
Yeah, it's not just the Steinbrenners owning this team. And it's a fair point.
So
there are a lot more hands in the ownership, or pots and cooks in the ownership kitchen than there used to be.
And that aren't involved with baseball. Not baseball families, baseball fans.
Well, and it's not their number one.
No, they're just investors. They don't want to hear about why you're doing this, how the sausage is made. They just want to start making checks again. I mean, when's Giannis going to step up as a baseball owner?
That's
say,
true.
Hey, look, come on.
Says, excuse me, I want some money here. The Athletic wrapped up their piece from the Atanasio, I guess you can call it statement report. quote.
What a great deal for Will
that
Sandman.
Through the context, they said, though the context has changed, the stance reiterates the view Matt Arnold expressed last week at the GM meetings in Las Vegas when he said he anticipated Peralta, quote, being part of our team moving forward. 29 years old, enters the walk year, set to make $8 million in 2026. Relatively modest salary for somebody with a 2.7 ERA and 200 plus strikeouts last season. Very, very suitable and very attractive for potential suitors. We'll talk more about it coming up with Tim Allen in 20 minutes from right now. The Badgers' next opponent coming up on Saturday at Camp Randall got themselves a piece of good news last night. What does it mean for Bucky? Well, it just adds to the run that they've been on that you almost have to really see to believe. We'll continue it on the other side. It's No BS in the Game.
.97.3 The Game. This is what's trending in Milwaukee now.
Miss an hour of No BS?
Honestly, Billy, I don't think you'd miss it.
You can find all of the shows in podcast form. Just search No BS on the iHeartRadio app.
Now, a year in rock spotlight from 1976. Bob Dylan releases his album Desire. It goes to #1 in the States, thanks mainly to significant radio airplay for the single Hurricane.
Couldn't help but make me feel ashamed to live in a land where justice is a game.
Got his sensation, the Bay City Rollers finally score a hit in the U.S. with the #1 single Saturday Night. In February, former Steve Miller Band member Boz Scaggs has a #2 U.S. album with Silk Debris. Peter Frampton hits #1 with his double live album Frampton Comes Alive. It would become the best-selling album of 1976.
I want you, show me the way every day. I want you, show me the way night and day.
In March, Irish hard rockers Thin Lizzy's 6th album, Jailbreak, scores them a #12 hit single with The Boys Are Back in Town.
The boys are back in town again. Been hanging down at the nose.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more from 1976, coming up. Now, a year in rock spotlight, 1978. In June of 78, Darkness on the Edge of Town is released, Bruce Springsteen's follow-up to his breakthrough album Born to Run. The album charts at #5.
In the darkness on the edge of town. In the darkness on the edge of town.
Boston-based band The Cars released their debut album. It goes to #18. It features the singles Just What I Needed and My Best Friend's Girl.
She's my best friend's girl. But she used to be mine.
In July of 78, the Rolling Stones released Some Girls in the U.S. The album and the single Miss You both hit #1. In August of 78, Boston released their sophomore album, Don't Look Back. The album goes to #1 in the U.S., selling 4 million copies in its first month. Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more from 1978, coming up. Now, a year in rock spotlight, 1971. February, 4 months after her death, Janis Joplin's album Pearl is released and goes to #1. The single Me and Bobby McGee also tops the chart. Bill Withers hits #3 with the single Ain't No Sunshine from his debut album produced by Booker T. Jones. In March of 71, Carole King releases her first solo album and scores 2 #1 singles, I Feel the Earth Move and It's Too Late. And UK progressive rockers Jethro Tull have a top 10 album on both sides of the Atlantic with Aqualung.
Running down his nose. Greasy fingers smearing shabby clothes. Hey, Aqualung.
In April, the Temptations topped the charts with Just My Imagination, their third number one and their 13th top 10 single. Three Dog Night have their second number one single with Joy to the World. And the Rolling Stones album Sticky Fingers is released, including the number one single Brown Sugar.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more from 1971. Coming up. iHeartRadio goes one-on-one with Carlos Santana as he reflects on some of his teachers.
We had good teachers, Miles Davis, B.B. King, Tito Puente, and the people who we learn, whether it's Herbie Hancock or Wayne or Buddy Rich, they don't think too much. You just go with your heart, with a lot of conviction and a lot of trust and a lot of energy, and we don't have time to doubt or second guess or anything like that. That's for somebody else.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more Santana and all your favorite artists.
Audio production. For me, boy. Yeah. 1738. I'm like, hey, what's up? Hello.
No BS on the game. I did ask and say that we would ask PA. Couple of questions, Armen Sarian. 1738 almost sounds like ask PA.
I like that.
Now, there's a couple of ways that we could ask our friend Paul Allen some questions, but on the NicoletLaw.com talking text line, some Packers fans have already weighed in, and some of our smart and good-looking listeners. Hey, Paul Allen, does Armen Sarian make the most fire chili ever? I would venture to say Paul Allen might have an answer for that one, and it might not be exactly what Armen Sarian would like.
Hey, Paul Allen's never tried my chili, bro.
He's never got. Is he invited to the chili cook-off?
Paul Allen can come to any chili cook-off he wants. He's definitely invited. However, don't be taking Dan and West Bend's advice. Now I know it's a running joke.
Oh, you're saying don't take his bit.
Well, don't.
I kind of like that.
Dan and West Bend loves talking about my chili. Fair enough. Until you've rolled up and had a spoon yourself, though, I can't really say you know what you're talking about.
Until you've gotten this thing spoon-fed to you, you don't exactly know what it's like.
I'm moving in silence, though, to my Stroganoff game. I'm going to become a beef Stroganoff guy, Billy. I mean, a successful beef Stroganoff.
I like that you're changing up.
I'm changing things up. I'm changing up. I'm absolutely trying to change positions here, like Rick Ankiel.
Our friend Jonah asked, hey, PA, do you think the Vikings will ever draft a true franchise quarterback? No! Now, that was kind of rough.
Yeah, they have had struggles with drafting guys like in that position. They really have. I mean, all respect to John David Booty. They have not drafted a franchise quarterback that I can remember that really worked out for them.
Hey, PA, do you think the Vikings will have a 500 record at the end of the year?
No! Well, they'll have a tough time in this division, that's for sure.
Very tough, because just like the Packers, their schedule gets very dicey as of late. This one from Red Hot Tim Knott. Hey, PA, was it a good idea for iHeart to mess with 97.3 The Game? No! Luckily,
my guy,
they made a good decision. Still hanging out with us here on YouTube and X and on the iHeartRadio app. Not dead yet.
Not dead yet, Billy. Sorry, this is directional, Mike. Yeah.
Hey, PA, is there a better texter than Red Hot Tim Knott? Now, Red Hot Tim Knott, I'm proud of you for being able to find a good way to get yourself a dub.
No, he did. He wants to pat himself on the back. That's for
and
sure.
if you're able to plan that one in advance that well, good on you. Hey, PA, are we going to get the full list here today? No! My friend Ryan in Jacksonville sent that one in.
We saw that one.
Been waiting for that.
We have been, and it's going to be a bunch of nothing. You remember when Geraldo went to Al Capone's secret hideout cave or some secret Al Capone vault? They opened live TV. Geraldo went to the vault and there was nothing in there. They thought there was going to be some treasure trove and they were going to expose it on live TV on Geraldo's show, and there was nothing. No, nothing.
Come on.
Was there anything in the vault, Geraldo? No. There wasn't. No, there wasn't. Absolutely. So, oh, yeah.
Alex Gamer, we're still on 1070 The Game. And we thank everybody for hanging out with us on 1070 The Game across the state of Wisconsin. We're also on 105.5 La Crosse. We're also hanging out in the Cooley region coming up in a matter of about 11 minutes with our friends in La Crosse and in Eau Claire. Just said goodbye to our friends in Appleton, Oshkosh. Most importantly, we're available for everybody worldwide on YouTube. Make sure you like and subscribe to the show, to this channel that you're watching this on. Hit the little bell icon, and then you'll make sure that you'll get notified every single time we go live. And then also, if you could drop us a comment on YouTube, because we do like to air the comments on YouTube, but it also helps us get into other Packers fans' feeds and other sports fans' feeds. Paul said, will the Packers have an easy win against the Vikings this week? No! Now, Paul, I don't know if that was exactly the right way of using it, but I also don't think it's going to be an easy one.
No, I think he's actually right. And I think that's a good theme, and that's a good lesson for us to learn, is that I think we walk into so many games just expecting to have these cakewalk times, and that's not reality a lot of times, and that's not the NFL, and that's certainly not reality when you're going to play O'Connell and Flores, any sort of week. So I don't expect us to have some. Listen, if it happens, great. I don't expect it to be an easy time. The Packers are favorites. I like to think at our best we should win, Billy, but as you know, I don't think it's going to be an easy game.
I think Minnesota specializes in making games close and tight.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially here. I mean, they've been very, very difficult to beat for Green Bay. Last two times Minnesota's rolled up to Lambeau Field, they've been two of the worst games that Jordan Love has played. I don't know if that part gets stressed enough. 2 years ago, this game happens before the 18 touchdowns, the 1 interception run of the last 8 games. This is in the midst of the losing streak that lasts 42 days. And the 24-10 loss to the Vikings in 23 at Lambeau Field might have been one of the most defeated moments Packers fans had in that run. Because Kirk Cousins goes down with a torn Achilles. They have Jaron Hall playing for a quarter and a half, and you can barely get past midfield. So different scheme, different defense. Very much different quarterback, different team, no doubt about it. But same head coach over on that side who's kind of run roughshod over this rivalry at Lambeau for the last couple of years.
He has.
So far from some easy game. And this is the other part of it to me too, Armen, is I think we all have different definitions of what an easy game is.
We absolutely
right.
do.
Like the Washington game. That game was never in peril.
No, but it wasn't necessarily easy.
It wasn't necessarily easy, and it was a 1-score game in the fourth quarter.
Absolutely.
But the Packers were in full control of that game. I don't know that you really ever felt like it was in doubt. I never really felt like the Cincinnati game was in doubt. Other people are like, this game is heart pumping.
Oh, I thought it was.
Super back and forth.
Yeah.
1-score game that I felt like if at any point the Packers needed, they were going to be able to score. Like they were in full control of that game.
But I never thought the Browns game was in doubt until it was.
Yeah. So the easy turn, Are they going to roll the helmets out and win like Ohio did last night, 42-14? No.
Not rolling that.
But as much as we thought that was going to be an easy game, wasn't easy enough, laying the 33.5 in the parlay of the day. And it also, at one point, was 21-14.
Yeah.
So all different definitions of what easy ends up being. Our friend Mark in Madison. Hey, my coworker in the truck is a Viking fan. Keep the hits coming.
No!
Oh.
The Cardinals have knocked the Vikings out of the playoffs.
Sorry, man.
Well, Mark, I apologize for you giving us that information. And now we totally don't have to do what I think we might end up doing. And that's this one.
Back to pass. He pumps. Now he fires over the middle. Intercepted. I can't believe what I'm seeing right now. It was intercepted by Tracy Porter near side to the 40, and John Sullivan runs him down at the 47-yard line. You've got to be kidding me. I can't believe what I just saw. Looking at that play, he should have just held on to it, Paul. He should have. He could have easily gotten 5 or 6 yards if he would have just pulled that thing down and dove forward. But why do you even ponder passing? I mean, you can take a knee and try a 56-yard field goal. This is not Detroit, man. This is the Super Bowl.
As good as it gets, Billy.
Nothing better. Nothing
That's
better.
as good as it gets right there.
Playing the hits all week long. Border battle number 200 happens for Packers and Vikings Sunday at Lambeau Field. We cannot wait for it.
Quick one here from Brandon James on YouTube. It sounds extreme. Will the next 9 days determine if the Packers make the playoffs? I don't know, literally, Billy, but it's got a long way in going that way.
Yes, I think it's closer to being reality than hyperbole. Because if you can't win these games against the division, it comes down to probably 4 teams for 3 spots. And 3 of them are in the NFC North. And the other is the 49ers. So you definitely got to get these. They'll determine a lot. Tim Allen joins us on the other side. Hour 4 of No BS is next on the game.
Want to watch No BS?
We'll do anything it takes.
They're live on YouTube, Facebook, and X right now.
We have a place for it.
Just search 97.3 The Game.
Eric Tasker here from Tailgate Talk. Paul Wagner and myself are back with a new episode everywhere and anywhere that you listen to podcasts. In our latest episode, we gather around the tailgate and talk about the rut in Wisconsin, successes, letdowns, and just a general excitement that comes with the first couple weeks in November. It's a great time to be in the woods, but if you need something to get you through your day, just search for Tailgate Talk on the iHeartRadio app and everywhere that you listen to podcasts. Good luck out there this week to all the hunters. Wear your blaze orange and be safe.
Here are the top Michael Jackson songs you've thumbed up. Number 3, The Way You Make Me Feel. Number 2, Beat It. Number 1, Billie Jean. Hear more from Michael Jackson and similar artists now. Search for Michael Jackson on iHeartRadio. All your favorite music, all your favorite stations, all free.
Now, a year in rock spotlight. 1973.
Led Zeppelin released their 5th album, Houses of the Holy. It goes to number 1 in the US and the UK and yields the top 20 hit Dire Maker.
But I still love you so, and I can't let you go. I love you.
The Doobie Brothers released their top 10 album, The Captain and Me, with the singles Long Train Runnin' and China Grove. And in June, Joe Walsh and Barnstorm have a top 10 album buoyed by the single Rocky Mountain Way. Also in June of 73, George Harrison scores the number 1 single, Give Me Love, from the number 1 album, Living in the Material World. And Chicago's 6th album goes to number 1 with 2 top 10 hits, Just You and Me and Feeling Stronger Every Day. In July, 600,000 Jam Watkins Glen for Summer Jam, the largest rock festival ever held in the U.S. It features the band, the Grateful Dead, and the Allman Brothers. And in August, those same Allman Brothers released their first album after the death of Duane Allman and had their only hit single with Ramblin' Man, which goes to number 2.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more from 1973. Coming up.
iHeartRadio goes one-on-one with Peter Gabriel to reflect on the WOMAD Festival's evolution.
We initially started this WOMAD Festival in 1980. The first one was 82, and it was very naive enthusiasm for some of these strange and wonderful things we were hearing. And as a failed drummer, I was hearing grooves that I fell in love with, which seemed a lot more alive than what I was hearing on the radio. As a singer too, these wonderful voices, and it's still continued that way. And it's a lot more difficult, because the demise of the music business and record stores has made it extremely difficult for any minority interest label. But we work hard to focus online activities, and there is still, happy to say, good audience, and the WOMAD Festival is, I think, like a lot of live parts of the business, actually flourishing, even though the records are not doing as well.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more Peter Gabriel and all your favorite artists.
I'm Ashley Dvorkin with a Fox Celebrity Profile with stars of Netflix's In Your Dreams, which follows two young siblings on an adventure to ask the Sandman for their dream of keeping their family together. The cast includes Craig Robinson as Baloney Tony and Simu Liu as Dad.
I love that Dad has a dad bod. I love that he's just this jovial, like fun-loving, kind of cuddly teddy bear of a man.
The film led to some dream analysis.
I still get that I didn't study for this pop quiz one.
Oh my God, me too. And I think first of all, it's people who are generally like traumatized by school. And my deepest fear was like being held back or like not allowed to graduate.
What or who do you credit most with inspiring you to follow your dreams?
There's a lot of people that I would credit. I mean, Kevin Feige, Destin Daniel Cretton, director. And then I would say the person who fired me from my first job as an accountant.
Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
Listen to us live 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app and watch our shows each weekday on YouTube, Facebook, and X. We are the game.
Cleanup hitter today on No BS has a stranglehold on all conversation Brewers baseball. Franchise Tim Allen steps up into the batter's box, joins us on No BS. What's good this morning? 1070 The Game, Madison. Welcome in to the Cooley region, Eau Claire and La Crosse, and all of you watching on YouTube and X, as well as Facebook. Thanks for hanging out with us and waking up with us this morning. 9 a.m. starts up with our friend Tim Allen, the franchise player of the baseball postgame show. What's going on, young man? How you doing?
I'm trying to stay busy here.
I like that.
Yeah, trying to stay busy. Billy, it was good seeing you at Brewski's Friday night.
I was
down in Milwaukee.
It was awesome to see. I was going to say staying busy by headlining for the Tim Allen Band, which was phenomenal to be able to see.
It's not the name of the group, but
should
okay.
be. My bad. Should be.
Conviction.
Oh, Conviction
is
is
the
the
name.
name.
Of the group.
Yeah.
Because I met all these knuckleheads in prison.
Mm-hmm.
That's
but,
hilarious.
No, it went good. We had some fun. Miller High Life, and
gave away
really
a
good.
big screen TV. There was a lot of giveaways. It was a good time. I was fired up to be able to be there and see everybody. Good to see you and hang out with you for a couple and have a couple of cold ones. Then also, I mean, staying busy. They got you like speaking at events and
He's
stuff
on the
now.
speaking tour. He's on the book tour now.
Look at you.
Yeah.
The book is still being written. I don't know, Billy. You gave me the idea years ago, and I don't know if that many people would be interested, but I will say this: that there's going to be some unhappy people when they read that book.
Yeah, and and now you've also teased to me a long time ago how your last radio broadcast is going to go. And that's one that's going to be must listen to.
I can't wait.
And there's going to be a lot of people that don't want to be in the firing line on there.
Well, listen, I understand what you're kind of implying here, that there's going to be some dirt. You're going to,
there will be dirt.
And I don't know if you have any on me, and if you do, that's great. I doubt it because I'm not interesting. But my point is this: I just want to mention when you write that book, when you have that famous moment, I just want
just make it about me one time.
Just make it one time. Just say, and there was also a guy named Armen I worked with for a while. That's all I need.
He taught me Armenian in Vegas for a while.
What the heck? Why not? I mean, that's all I want is to be part of history.
He invited me to his weird neighborhood round robin had baklava. It was beautiful.
Whatever it takes.
And a lot on the Brewers, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't take a lot to publish your own book these days. There's so many people doing it. I would recommend it to anybody.
It's like a podcast.
It is
closer to.
But just you can do this. It's not like 40 or 50 years ago where you wrote a book. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
It's not that big of a deal, but a lot on the Brewers. And speaking of which, last night you mentioned the speaking thing. I was at the Lions Club recruiting meeting in Oconomowoc.
Oh, we're talking.
All right.
Yeah, and it went really good. And the Brewers came up, and we all are jonesing for some Brewers baseball already. That is such a great thing, too.
Yeah.
That we miss it just literally weeks after the Major League Baseball season ends. that means there's a really, really cool product out there. When you're talking about it and still months away from first pitch, that's a cool thing.
There's a lot to look forward to and a lot to be excited about. And you got a little bit of a little drop of info yesterday that got us going again, that whet our appetite a little bit when we got the Brandon Woodruff news.
Oh my goodness, there are so many different angles, and I know you guys have been breaking it down a little bit, but there's so many different angles on this. Who blinked first? Was this a stare down contest between Woody and the organization? And you hate to be in that situation, but that's the way the system is set up. It's like arbitration.
Yep.
It pits the team against their own player, which I think is a flawed system. But anyway, on this qualifying offer, $22 million is a lot of money, even for Brandon Woodruff.
Yep. It would by far the most money, Timmy, he's ever made in his big league career.
And it's the most money the Brewers have paid any one pitcher for one season.
Yeah. And in the midst of all of it, Timmy, like as you were saying it, I thought the fascinating thing when you said stare down between the player and the team in this individual case, I wonder if the qualifying offer in this year where, listen, only 14 players out of 144
that's right,
who have ever had the qualifying offer given to them coming into this offseason since it was implemented in 2012 have accepted it. Now there's 13 guys with it in front of them going into the 2026 offseason.
And 4 take it.
And like, they're all good players. I thought Torres had definitely the best year out of all of them.
For $22 million?
That's a ton of money. And like, if I'm Trent Grisham, I'm saying thank you very much. And I absolutely will take that $22 million. And I wonder if this individual year, Timmy, it has a lot more to do with the backdrop of 27, or if it is just case by case basis.
That's the other angle on this Woody thing, especially. It is the pending, and we talked about it last night at a gathering about why are we not negotiating now? Why are we not meeting every single week until they're going to wait this out? You guys all know it's posturing. It's going to go all the way
into
the
game of chicken. Yeah,
it is. It is. So,
well, isn't it because if one side says, "Hey, let's start negotiating," that they're the weaker side? Isn't that how they all look at this thing?
Yeah. So, and again, is that an angle on this Woody thing that, my goodness, $22 million? I mean, you hit the lottery for $22 million, your life is set. He's going to do this for 1 year and a pending potential work stoppage. Oh, yeah. His agent and him had a conversation. So that's another angle.
Get this money in the bank, right?
Who blinks first angle? Brewers wanted compensation if he signs elsewhere and turns it down. It is the pending work stoppage. There's an angle. The other angle to think about is the health of that arm and body. Is that something that played into the decision? Now, I have no information that says Woody isn't going to be 100% come late March next year. But does that play into this as well? So many different angles. The Brewers may have had, hey, qualifying offer. Would you take it? Would you consider? Sure, I'd take it. Okay, now we can trade Freddie Peralta because we have our anchor. I mean, there's 4 different angles here to take a look at. It's tough.
So let's, because that last one that you brought up, definitely want to chew on, and we've been chewing on it for the better part of the last hour of the Freddie Peralta trade. And how does this potentially impact that availability? But I said they're a better team and in a better situation, Tim, in 2026 with Brandon Woodruff accepting the qualifying offer. Do you agree? Or would it have been better for them to have that $22 million in ammo? Maybe they spend it, maybe they don't. Listen, they spent $17 million on Rhys Hoskins. He played 3 months last year, which was very, very good for 2 months of that. But that's just what it was. Or better to get the draft pick, have him go somewhere else, and then you retool around the young rotation. Are they better because he makes this decision in 26?
I think so, yeah, because it's only 1 year. If this were a 3-year, $20 million a year, you would be like, ooh, yeah, they might be hamstrung a little bit. But this is one and done by the mere chance, and it's a small chance, that the Brewers would have a tough season next year. Well, what are you going to do with Woody if he's healthy? Chances are, if he's healthy, he's performing well, and the Brewers are not going to be having a tough year.
Sure.
But point being is that you could potentially trade him in July as well. And everyone's returning. If you do the raw math, you take away Quintana, you take away Hoskins' money. Those two alone, you're awash pretty much with Woody, aren't you?
Yeah, that's about the 22 million, 4.5 to what, 18 it was? Yeah.
Everybody else of note is back. Everybody. Now you're going to get bumps through arbitration. Contreras is going to get probably $5 million more through arbitration than he got last year. But you're still in the same ballpark. It still leaves you with a little money on top of that to go out and sign probably, I'm going to assume, a veteran infielder. I'm going to assume this, a veteran infielder and a veteran starting pitcher.
And those are the small stretches, the small elastic stretches of the payroll the Brewers could sustain. Like usually when we complain about the Brewers not being able to, go deeper and spend more, it's usually getting to the next level of payments, the next 50 million and the next, but those small elastic stretches the Brewers could sustain. Billy, you were a little skeptical on that last bit, I feel like.
Well, the veteran infielder, are you saying third base or shortstop?
Somewhere in there.
Both. Guy that can play both.
because
the leader of the Caleb Durbin hype train can't be trying to move him off of third base over here.
It's Caleb's job, though.
No, but you have flexibility here. And I know people would say, hey, you'd have to have your head examined to move Bryce Terang. With this organization, I'm not ruling that out.
Never would.
I'm not ruling out moving Caleb Durbin off of third base. Is he a 5-year for third baseman?
It's a good question. He wasn't his
Come on,
position.
Mighty Mouse.
No, but he could play second, is what you're saying, right? If Bryce
He
moves.
could play second. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I thought you were
Hassan Kim.
Okay.
Well, you paying you. Well, I mean, listen, there's options. And that's the one thing I think about this situation with potentially trading Peralta. If the right offers are out there, the Brewers do have an advantage in that they're not totally, I brought this up to me, they're not totally starved in the farm system. They're in good shape, right?
Did the organization learn? And I'm not saying that the Corbin Burns deal is a complete failure yet.
Which deal?
The Burns deal.
You mean trading him?
Yeah. What they got in return for Burns.
Success.
I'm not saying it's a success or a failure.
Oh, I'm saying it's a success. Okay, go ahead. I didn't know where you were going.
The jury's still out on that trade, and sometimes it takes a while to make those trades, be determined. I think it was a mistake. Now, again, it's not horrible. DL Hall and Joey Ortiz, they're not horrible. I don't know, man. I think if you waited that out until the trade deadline, this is just my opinion, I believe you get more.
Yeah. Well, and that's the tough thing because it depends on when the biggest urgency is coming up. And when you're getting teams at the absolute hottest of spending. A lot of times they would say, well, I just lost 20 starts, but you still get the same amount of postseasons. And I think that's the important one. If you're
Freddie, you want to just roll with him until the deadline, see where you're at risk of receiving nothing for him. This organization has done it's hard for me to complain about anything this organization has done in terms of player movement. But that Corbin Burns thing is still sort of a question mark for me.
Interesting. Because I kind of chalked that up because I just don't feel like you were gonna sign him. But I get your point, Billy, about the postseason.
You weren't going to sign him.
No, that's not what he's saying. But he's saying the package would have been bigger or better
at the deadline.
Or was that the best package you got? Was a 700 OPS shortstop potentially at best and DL Hall, who I still think can be good, but the jury is absolutely still out on. Very, very fair. It's absolutely one. I do think it's interesting, Tim, as to if you're going to trade Peralta now or into the year, how much and what type of prospect do you get back into the development? How does that get stunted by potentially what 27
and
is impending? And does that impact your decision to potentially move him there?
And do you look at the need? Do you look at the farm system now and say, well, there's Andrew Fisher and we got Jesus Made and we have all these guys. Where are we? Where's there a hole here? Or do you go with talent? The same old NFL draft adage. Best talent, or you go for need. So you have to look at it that way too. I just think Freddie Peralta is that guy. he had an amazing year, one of the best in baseball.
Mm-hmm.
To just let that go right now when everyone else, you can run this. That's the old adage: run this thing back.
Yeah, but this is a playoff team. If you do, don't you think?
Absolutely. Why wouldn't it be?
So
right.
we can't lose sight of the fact that as Brewers fans, you have to take that chance every time you can to try and make a run.
Will there be regression in Quinn Priester? Maybe, maybe not. Will there be progress in Jacob Mizorowski to level that off? Okay, horse apiece. We're still right there. 90-win team. I'm convinced they don't make any moves at all, just nominal moves from here to opening day. They are a 90-win team. They just won 97.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and everybody is back. You would assume that a group of these guys are going to be better just organically as their careers move along. Now, will some, like I said, take a step back, a tick, maybe, but they're always going to be in that ballpark. I look for this team again, veteran arm. In the rotation, we saw what happened with starting injuries. And so a veteran arm and a veteran infielder, and let's go.
Mark Antanasio said the decisions between Peralta and Woodruff were, quote, Timmy, independent decisions Matt and his group will make. We certainly are excited about their rotation, about our rotation now. I definitely do too. I do think they can add a little bit around the fringes, but we've talked about this for the last year and a half. Their best improvement, I think, comes from within. And last year, all of their young players that you banked on being cornerstones got better. Like the counting stats maybe for Jackson weren't better because he ended up getting injured. But the guys that you're thinking are your core in that lineup, and when we did the show going into Game 3 of the NLCS, when fate was kind of reeling in, you're like, listen, this entire lineup's back. You bring the entire rotation back, I'm right there with you. 90 wins should be the expectation.
Logan,
of
Henderson, you can play the hot hand, play who's going to be that Quinn Priester of next year. Is it going to be Patrick Henderson, Carlos Rodriguez? Is it going to be Mizorowski?
I'm going to bet the under on the Carlos Rodriguez one, but I like that you threw him in there.
You never know.
I like that you threw him in there. Are you going to throw Elvin Rodriguez in there again?
Oh, God.
I just saw his name just popped up for some reason just a few days ago.
Probably
something
great.
out in L.A.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Great.
But no, these guys are coming back. They're young. And now if you look at a Sal Frelick and a Bryce Terang, remember the freshman?
Yes.
Joey Wiemer didn't. No, Joey Wiemer.
That one didn't work.
No.
And some will and some won't. That's the way
this
thing goes.
There's strength in numbers, Armen.
Yes. That's why you put a lot against the wall, right?
Yeah, that's exactly it. So now you're looking at these guys as they're not impacted by travel. They're not impacted by the bright lights. They're not impacted by the big moments. Now it's baseball time for these guys. They're on a mission. I mean, other news, Pat Murphy, manager of the year, back-to-back. You guys covered that.
Mm-hmm.
Matt Arnold, executive of the year, back-to-back again. So organization is pretty fine-tuned right now. And for those looking for a big name to come in, I don't see it happening, guys.
No,
I just don't.
I don't see that either. One other piece of the news that maybe you missed there, and I know you've talked about before already. What did you make of the Ricky Weeks decision? What did you make of that movement? We had mentioned like the staff changes after the 18 season, some of which were prompted by the team, some of which were prompted by guys going elsewhere, right? Connor Dawson gets the gig in Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
He's from Missouri, makes sense. The Weeks one is unique because he's placed in the dugout thinking de facto manager and waiting. However, that was before you thought you had the two-time manager of the year. Is this simply, Timmy, in your eyes, that Murph realizes I'm not going to be done doing this in 2 years?
Yep, that's it. And the other way to look at that is the path to being a manager oftentimes is going to be diversity and versatility.
Mm-hmm.
Look what Craig Counsell did. Look at his job duties leading up to him being named manager.
Yeah, he was upstairs first. Yeah.
He did everything upstairs.
Yeah.
He even got on the broadcast booth to get that angle of it. The scouting side of things, the instructional side of things. And I think that's part of this, Billy, is Weeks is probably going to be your manager at some point of the Milwaukee Brewers.
Okay, so you still believe that's still online? Okay, because I thought that was out of the question now that he's out of the dugout.
Some people look at it as being less likely, but you're saying the same.
I think it's more likely because now he's going to learn the game from another angle. And I think that now outside of the San Francisco Giants, when they hired their new manager, it's pretty much the path you take. You do a little bit of this, assisting the GM. You assist with scouting. You go into the broadcast booth. You'll be a bench coach. You'll be a hitting coach or a pitching coach. Those are all duties that lead to being a manager. I don't see Ricky Weeks being a manager and a great fit any place better than Milwaukee.
Well, and maybe
no knock on Murph. I'm not knocking him 2-time manager of the year. You guys are right. But let's just wait. They're going to sign Murph, I think, to another 2-year extension. And can Ricky Weeks be a part of this organization in the ivory tower, as Murphy says, for another couple of years to wait Murph out?
Yeah, that's the thing, too, I think. And you just mentioned it. Like, was the plan initially for Murph not to manage as long, and now that he's done so well, it's like, oh, you know what? We're okay with him sticking around a couple more years. Right? And he's okay with it too. His age is up there too, obviously. So.
I don't want to be in the mind of Atanasio and the brass over there. But I think they are pleasantly surprised at the very least of Pat Murphy's success.
I would think 2-time manager of the year was not like it was the long shot.
I don't think they were planning.
I think they were hoping for it, but that tended to be the long shot of the two.
And Murph just plays into it too. He's just like, I'm gonna have a pocket
that's what makes him. He's great. He's great with it. All right, let's get a couple texts in here. Scott New Berlin still have to wait for Blake Burke from the 2024 draft. There you go, Blake Burke. There's a lot of good prospects. That's the one thing I think. And we were talking about the Freddie Peralta thing. It's it's never a yes or no situation. It's always like, let's see what the offers are. And if the offer is something we can't turn down, because I think the Brewers feel like they're not starved for minor league talent right now.
But and you have to put yourself in the other team's situation. What are they going to give up for Freddie Peralta, knowing that it's 1 year probably, unless you are going to make the trade, get him, and then sign him. You got him for 1 year, and it's a full season. So you do get draft choice compensation, qualify as offer. And then you have the work stoppage that plays into that as well. Makes total sense to me. Go all in 26 with what you've got right now. Enhance it a little bit. As Billy, you alluded to, you work around the fringes. Let these guys go at it again. Don't invest don't hamstring yourself for a potential work stoppage after next year, and that would be the 26 championship season.
That's what we like to hear. We got to make sure that tag continues to roll through, because 2026 might be the best year to be able to, because then you know what you get to be? The reigning defending World Series champions for even longer.
There you go.
Whoever wins the title
true.
in 26 might be the longest reigning World Series champions of all time.
And those wondering where to catch the post-game show next year, stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
All right.
Come on, way to set that hook, baby.
Way to set the hook and tease.
Yeah, I mean, nothing etched in stone yet.
We'll figure it out. We're gonna find them.
We're gonna try our best to bring it to
over
you.
Under. We'll know that before we know when they start labor negotiations. See, because I think that you mentioned, when are they going to start the negotiations? Why not do it now? I think when Manfred tried going into the Phillies clubhouse, that was the first.
That was his first out. That was his first olive
and
branch.
Bryce told him, "Get out of here. We don't want you in here."
That was a fastball up and in.
Timmy, how about
it? Right? I mean, that was the start.
That was the start of it, no doubt about it. News yesterday outside of the on-field deal. How about K-Rod and Ryan Braun getting brought up as first-time candidates?
Look at you, news and notes
for the Baseball Hall of Fame. Oh, I got them for you, brother. Come on now. You think I was going to let you get out of here without some news and notes?
That's beautiful. Who's the next associate manager or bench coach? How about a Wade Miley thrown out there?
Now that's a phenomenal idea.
I like that, but doesn't it have to be?
It's not going to surprise me.
Does it have to be a position player? Like, wouldn't he be more of a pitching coach? Or can a pitcher be?
I don't think you got to just.
He's a people coach. It's who the player is, not
crowbarring him into what
is.
he can do.
No, it's who the player is.
I don't mean to pigeonhole him. I understand.
Do you want to go with CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens, or do you want to go with a a good character guy.
Well, and that was going to be my last thing. It's amazing how you can read my mind. What do you think your boys did to earn themselves sitting for the first series on the Monday night game against the Las Vegas Raiders?
I'm gonna guess it involved a whole bunch of fun.
Yeah, see, we said they just went to In-N-Out Burger because Whataburger is what they probably have down in Dallas. Or saw an adult ballet. You know, who knows? Well, there's a couple of different opportunities that you could have found yourself
roaming
mixed up.
around the strip in Vegas.
Hey, and next time, you should be in on this. You got to give us the heads up next time that they're going to make up some meetings for the GMs in Las Vegas.
I know.
First off, what do you meet about? Oh, so you're running the team still? Sweet. I'm running the team still.
Great.
Awesome. Sweet. That's it.
Great. You want to have a cocktail? I'll meet you over here.
That's an incredible gig. That's an incredible deal.
Great gig.
I think next year they're going to go to South Beach and then they're going to go to Vegas again. That's wild. All right, Timmy, we appreciate you waking up with us here.
Thanks, buddy. Stay in touch, everybody.
When can we hear the band again?
Oh boy. In Franklin, Wisconsin, in the Milwaukee area. Going to be late January at a place called Swaggers.
Let's go. Come on, Swaggers.
But there's going to be a time or two before that.
Beautiful.
So we'll keep you posted.
All right, at Tim Allen Rants, and make sure you keep us posted there. We'll talk to you, brother.
You got to see you, boys.
There he is, Tim Allen, hanging out with us here on No BS. Always fun when we can get some baseball conversation. And the best is when we can get conversation with Tim Allen in.
Yeah,
it's good for the soul.
And you know what? We didn't get into the Hall of Fame list, so maybe that's for the next time because there's some good names in there. Great names.
Oh, I knew you were fired up. There's some non-deserving names over there, Armen Sarian. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I don't want to start there yet. I want to start positive.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Andrew Jones has to be a Hall of Famer. What's he doing sitting on the sideline still?
I'm stunned that he's waiting.
He's not a Hall of Famer. Like, to me, he's a Hall of Famer. Now we're talking. Nick Markakis? Come on.
Rick Porcello get his name on that list?
Shin-Soo Choo, man.
877-794-1973. That's Armen Sarian. He's got Hall of Fame hot takes as we continue on hour number 4. It's No BS on the game.
Miss an hour of No BS?
Honestly, Billy, I don't think you'd miss it.
You can find all of the shows in podcast form. Just search No BS on the iHeartRadio app.
I'm Bridget Condon with NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network. Texans head coach D'Amico Ryans officially ruled out quarterback C.J. Stroud for Thursday's game against the Bills with a concussion. Davis Mills will start again for Houston. The Steelers look to have avoided a major setback as quarterback Aaron Rodgers fractured his wrist but will not need surgery, according to head coach Mike Tomlin. According to NFL Network insiders Ian Rappaport and Tom Pelissero, Rodgers is pushing to play Sunday at Chicago, but doctors must clear him and his status moving forward is to be determined. Joe Burrow will participate in 11-on-11 drills this week and will be evaluated throughout the week. Burrow did play 7-on-7 drills in practice last week and felt good, according to head coach Zach Taylor. Taylor says Burrow is in the mindset that he wants to play football this year, but there's no timeline for his return. The Bengals host the Patriots on Sunday. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers. So we build specially adapted homes at Homes for Our Troops. And thanks to our donors and supporters, this life-changing gift of freedom is provided mortgage-free to these veterans. But we need you to join us too in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Are you a parent of a 2 to 8 year old? Listen closely for an exciting offer, then head to abcmouse.com/radio to learn more. By now, you've probably heard of ABC Mouse.
ABC Mouse is like a little one-on-one teacher. It has helped her so much.
We're offering a promo at abcmouse.com/radio to try it for free for a month, then $14.99 per month until canceled. Go to abcmouse.com/radio to see this offer. That's abcmouse.com/radio. Actual ABC Mouse users compensate for their testimonials, sponsored by Age of Learning.
iHeartRadio. Here are the top Aretha Franklin songs that you've thumbed up. Number 3, You Make Me Feel Like a Natural Woman. Number 2, Freeway of Love. Number 1, Respect. Hear more from Aretha Franklin and similar artists now. Search for Aretha Franklin on iHeartRadio. All your favorite music, all your favorite stations, all free.
iHeartRadio. Here are the top Foreigner songs that you've thumbed up.
Number 3,
Hot Blooded.
I show you loving like you never knew. That's why I'm hot-blooded. Check it and see. Feel the fever burning inside of me. Come on, baby, do you do more than dance?
Number 2,
I Want to Know What Love Is.
Change this lonely life. I wanna know what love is. I want you to show me.
Number 1,
Cold as Ice.
You're as cold as ice. You're willing to sacrifice our love.
Hear more from Foreigner and similar artists now.
search for Foreigner on iHeartRadio.
All your favorite music,
All your favorite stations.
all free.
iHeartRadio soundtrack flashback.
The best-selling soundtrack in history comes from 1992's The Bodyguard. One song that stands apart from the rest is, of course, I Will Always Love You. Originally written and performed by Dolly Parton, Whitney Houston took the song and made it one of the most iconic songs of all time.
For more great movie soundtrack hits, check out Popcorn Radio on the iHeartRadio app.
Going to roll up to the Potawatomi Sportsbook in a moment for a parlay of the day. Hold right there if you're waiting for your investment. Might include the Illinois Fighting Illini men's basketball team. They take on Nate Oates and the Alabama Crimson Tide tonight at the United Center. That game's going to be on FS1.
Not a true neutral site, obviously.
Not
Billy.
a true neutral site. Also kind of tough because hard to back the Fighting Illini 4 days before they take on Wisconsin at Camp Randall. You know, when it's Illinois week,
fair. That's totally
feels
fair.
weird, feels tough. Maybe just they get their win now and not coming up on Saturday night. They got themselves their football team. Brett Bielema got themselves a win last night. Armen, I don't know how much you were watching of the reveal of Week 13's version of the college football playoff rankings.
Well, I took a peek at what they were. Yeah. I mean, they're kind of, that's a good result for them.
Illinois pops themselves in there at 21. They were the top of the 5 teams that entered the rankings after 5 dropped out last week after some upsets and then just some losses by those teams, including 21st ranked Iowa, who lost on the road at USC, and then Pitt, who had College game day. They caught a fat L. They're bounced out. But Illinois started the year when they took on the Leathernecks of Western Illinois in week number 1. They were 12th in the country. They go to Duke, beat the brakes off Manny Diaz's squad, bye game against Western Michigan, and then as the number 9 ranked team in the country went to then 19 Indiana.
It's emotional damage. I mean, they got absolutely booty spanked. Right? I mean, they got booty spanked.
The kids these days call it belt to ass. for 63-10.
They got it.
The final result.
Yeah.
And after
that's what happened. Yeah.
I mean, 35-10 at halftime.
So that set him back a
is
bit.
as tough as it gets.
That set him back a bit.
So after that, I mean, after that game, they bounced all the way down to 23. They beat USC in walk-off fashion. Awesome game at home. They lose the number 1 Ohio State. No fault in that. I actually think they may have scored at that point. They were the first team to score, I believe, in the first half against Ohio State.
Crazy, huh? So that was
they had scored by far the most at that point in time against the Buckeyes, and still at this point, 16 is either 1 or 2 most points that Ohio State's given up on the season. So all that to be said, as Illinois has fought their way back in here, they had a tough loss on the road at Washington that bounced them out for a couple of weeks. A couple of wins at home against Rutgers and Maryland, and now they're back into the top 25. You say this to say that Wisconsin's run of games, and I understand a lot of people know what the schedule was coming into it, what the moments were in time as to how good certain teams got. Armen, did you know outside of Maryland, since the Badgers finished their game against Middle Tennessee State, every single team they've played at one point or another has been in the top 25?
That's pretty interesting. So you think about schedule and difficulty of schedule. We know it's been a tough schedule this year for the Badgers in the Big Ten.
And now not everybody ended up being ranked when the game happened. I think Iowa was out of the top 25, may have re-entered a week and a half after, or whatever it ended up being.
But at some point, they were there.
Last week, they were in the top 20. They were 20th ranked when they hosted Oregon. Washington was 23rd. I think they got as high as top 20. And Oregon was a perennial top 10 team all year long.
Mm-hmm.
Alabama, going into last week before their home loss, was in the top 4. Going into last week, they had played the top 3 seeds, or 3 of the top 4 seeds.
Yeah, it's been a quite uniquely difficult schedule for them. That's fair to say.
To compound that with the absolute end of the lull recruiting cycle from the Paul Chryst era. I mean, perfect storm gets used a lot. Perfect storm.
A lot, yeah.
Of bad for how this Wisconsin football season ultimately swirled into. But opportunity at Camp Randall this week to not one, stun maybe your own fan base. Definitely your former head coach. Bielema's going to come and want to make a statement.
Yeah.
Senior day at Camp Randall. That is an Illinois team that is going to be prepared and feisty. But if indeed it is a full 4-quarter game into the night at Camp Randall, 6:30 kick on Saturday, that could be a lot of fun. And I'm very, very optimistic. And I understand there's going to be a lot of people that potentially don't go. There were a lot of unused tickets for the Washington game, probably this one. 40-degree night in November, not bad. Clear skies, it looks like. Should be a fun night. Those that came against Washington stayed and enjoyed it. I am optimistic that those that are going to be there on Saturday are going to enjoy, be optimistic, and try to be a factor because it could be fun.
Absolutely.
Again, shock Brett Bielema one time after the last time he brought his Illini up here was maybe what you felt like was going to be the lowest point for Badger football. Have this be a part of the upswing and part of winning 3 of 4 in the month of November to catapult you into 2026. I'm excited. I'm excited for Saturday night at Camp Randall.
Well, it definitely seems to be signs that this team is turning it around a bit. I mean, you had the proof in the Washington game. Okay, we have proof now you can do it. You can win a game like this. That was a monster win for them because if anything else, to give themselves that belief. And, you fought hard against Indiana in the first half. Eventually they pull away on, in Bloomington, but there are indications that this is a team that's willing to fight, especially on defense. And Billy, I'll be honest with you, I expect a close game, or I expect a good one here.
I'm excited for it. I think it's got the makings of a potential 4-quarter game. With this Badger defense, they're not going to get blown out of a whole lot of games.
That's the thing.
They're not going to get blown out a ton with that kind of defense, and I'm excited to see how it plays coming up this weekend and hopefully you're there with us at the camp, and hopefully hanging out with myself and Lance Allen after the game on the local Ford dealers post-game show, and hanging out with us into the night on 1310 WIBA and the Badger Sports Network. All right, we're going to hit the Potawatomi Sportsbook on the other side, 877-794-1973. Some college hoops, because I know Armin's been salivating and waiting for us to drop that in on the parlay of the day.
Hofstra
and
Temple tonight.
Maction was so close to cashing for us.
Oh, man.
So close to cashing for us last night. Come on, Ohio. Against the Minutemen. 1 minute longer, and maybe we hit the parlay of the day yesterday. Stay a couple of more minutes, and we'll go to the Potawatomi Sportsbook next on the game.
Like I'm doing the hood. The only thing I wish you. Welcome to the good life. You probably think you could, but I don't think you should. Welcome to the good life. 50 told me, go ahead.
Stay tuned.
You do like to grab attention.
No BS. We'll be back in just a moment.
Now, a year in rock spotlight from 1977.
In June of 77, Ram Jam have a top 20 U.S. hit single with a cover of Lead Belly's song Black Betty. Chicago area rock band Styx have a U.S. top 10 album Grand Illusion, including the top 10 single Come Sail Away.
Come sail away, come sail away, come sail away with me.
In July of 77, the Grateful Dead veered towards progressive rock, adding strings, horn, and a choir on their ninth studio album, Terrapin Station.
Terrapin, the whistle is screaming,
In August of 77, the King dies. Elvis Presley's found dead in his home in Memphis, Tennessee at the age of 42. Detroit rock vocalist Iggy Pop releases his second solo album, Lust for Life. It's his second collaboration with David Bowie. New York's Billy Joel releases his fifth album, The Stranger. It goes to number 2 in the U.S., with the single Just the Way You Are rising to number 3.
I want you just the way you are.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more from 1977. Coming up.
iHeartRadio.
Here are the top Fleetwood Mac songs that you've thumbed up.
Number 3.
Don't Stop.
Don't stop thinking about tomorrow. Don't stop. It'll soon be here. It'll be better than before. Yesterday's gone. Yesterday's gone.
Number 2. Dreams. Number 1. Go Your Own Way.
You can go your own way. Go your own way. You can call it another day.
Hear more from Fleetwood Mac and similar artists now. Search for Fleetwood Mac on iHeartRadio. All your favorite music, all your favorite stations, all free.
Now, a year in rock spotlight, 1975.
In June of 75, the Bee Gees released the LP Main Course, featuring a more dance-oriented sound, and delivered 3 hit singles, including the number 1 Jive Talkin'. In July, Fleetwood Mac shake things up. They add Americans Lindsey Buckingham and Stevie Nicks to the lineup and have a number 1 album. And Wings released the album Venus and Mars, which goes to number 1. Their U.S. tour features Paul McCartney's first live appearance in the U.S. since 1966.
Love is fine for all we know. For all we know, our love will grow. That's what the man said. Don't you listen to what the man said. He said.
In August of 75, the Eagles' 4th album goes to number 1 and has 3 top 5 singles, including the number 1 title track, One of These Nights. And the boss, Bruce Springsteen, is featured on the cover of Time magazine, and Born to Run becomes his breakthrough album, reaching number 3 in the U.S.
Come on with me, chance like us. Baby, we were born to run.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more from 1975. Coming up.
Classic Cuts.
In the early part of his solo career, Eric Clapton sought out top producers to work on his records. This story, told by Tom Dowd, concerns the 1977 album Slow Hand, which was actually produced by Glyn Johns. Dowd recalls hearing from Eric, guitarist George Thierry, and singer Marcy Levy that it took an ultimatum to drag a classic cut out of them.
Eric and George and Marcy tell the story about Lay Down Sally, where Glyn had given him an ultimatum. When you come in here tomorrow, you better have a damn song ready or I'm pulling the pin because you've been wasting time. I mean, he was doing what you have to do. And they're thinking, oh man, what are we going to do? And Marcy says, well, I got this lyric. And they jump all over it. When he said, what are you going to do today? They sang it impromptu. And he says, yeah, that sounds great. And they sit down and they work it out. That morning when they collaborated was when they conceived the idea and they put it together.
Lay it down, Sally. No need to leave so soon. I've been trying all night long just to talk to you.
Time now for Billy's Parlay of the Day, brought to you by Potawatomi Sportsbook. Bet above the rest.
Let's bet above the rest of the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Armen Sarian's over there waiting for some college basketball to be included. I'm Billy Schmidt over here thinking like maybe Central Michigan, Kent State doesn't look so bad, and I like that 9.5.
That's a high thrill score.
And I'm a big fan of Kent State catching 9.5 at home. The Golden Flashes were one of the worst teams in all of college football for the last 4 or 5 years. This year, far from warm cheeks.
They were terrible. What was it? Fade Kent State was my deal.
You were all over that for the last 2 years. You were loving it.
So you're saying that we've hit the further notice part?
We have finally hit the further notice part. Give me Kent State here tonight, plus 9.5 at home as the Golden Flashes are trying to hold Central Michigan out of a potential second place spot in the Mid Athletic Conference.
The Mid? No,
very much mid.
I do like the
Mid-American Conference.
That's why I don't call it that, because this became kind of a joke. I do like them catching it at home. And the thing is, Billy, I feel like those action games, when they get closer to the end of the year, they become tighter because there's more trying to hold our spot.
Getting tighter, yeah.
Yeah, so.
Hey, man, Golden Flashes have won 2 of their last 3.
Let's go.
Including putting up 42 on Akron last night, who was a part of our parlay of the day, who were victorious. We had them catching 3.5. They ended up winning outright by 3 in a 1916 barn burner.
I was going to say, you're not sprinkling the money line, are you?
We danced into the night on an over as well with the Western Michigan Broncos taking on Northern Illinois. It was over 38.5. Well, almost covered Western Michigan by themselves. 35-19 the final. Not even an issue there. Instead, the problem was we went with the Ohio Bobcats, thinking they were trying to make a statement, trying to lock themselves and solidify in their spot into the MAC championship game. They mess around and play to a 42-14 game against the now 0-11 Massachusetts Minutemen. And they played mini in the third quarter as they gave up a touchdown in the third quarter to make it 21-14, ultimately scored 21 unanswered, including a touchdown in the fourth quarter with about 2.5 minutes to go. Armen, all I was thinking about is why not a surprise onside kick and try to run it back? I mean, why not try to shock the world and get a little cover play in here? Did not happen.
Did you mean to go with that mini-man joke?
No, but I'm really,
It worked out.
I should have just taken the
Now
credit
you know.
for it.
No,
It
now
was
you
pretty
got
solid. So we stay away from the mini-men for the rest of the time here. However, Armen, there's a couple of good plays in college hoops here tonight and a couple of big-time games.
A lot of good
As this freshman, Pete, am I pronouncing that correctly? Pate for Arizona. My man's been unreal.
Really good.
The Wildcats go on the road, a true road game, to UConn and take on Dan Hurley's Huskies. This is number 3 hosting number 4 in like a legit true road game.
Yeah.
And I kind of like catching 7 with the Wildcats.
Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce it yet. Pete, whatever it is. We're going to hear more from him, I'm sure. He's one of those guys that's going to
true
be
freshman
really
stud.
Good. Yeah, from Gilbert, Arizona. Now, here's the thing, Billy. And this is the thing we have to remember. It is a big East Coast trip. That's a long flight. You know, they are going to store. They're not playing in Boston, which I think UConn played a game recently at the Garden. So it is a true road game. But man, Arizona's talented to be getting 7 points like that. They're very talented. UConn's good as well. I don't mind the points at all in this situation. I think this is a team that can go on the road and play well.
We want it to be tight. We want the 7. We're going to take it with the Wildcats going up against the Huskies tonight. And then
you like Illinois, Billy, tonight at the United Center?
See, you gotta help me out here.
You don't want to do it. Now, Illinois.
I don't know if I want to bet on Illinois laying 3.5 against Nate Oates' Alabama Crimson Tide. Nate Oates from Wisconsin, Illinois, 4 days away at Camp Randall. Game at the United Center, but everything's telling me I like Illinois laying 3.5.
Now this is interesting because Illinois is one of those teams that likes to. They're all in on the portal, right? They replenish every year. They do all these teams.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you're like, if you grew up and you were, Serbian, Croatian, you're one of the, old Slavic ethnicities,
hanging out at the park in Franklin playing soccer every weekend. Yeah,
and you were a big Tony Kukoc fan. You like this Illinois team. Let's talk about some of these important players. Tomislav Ivicic, David Merkovic.
Here we go.
Andrei Stojakovic.
Now we're talking.
Zvonimir Ivicevic.
Come on now.
I mean, that's 4 of them. Now, I don't think there's any more, but I mean, I'm looking at, and these are all major contributors. So, this team. What do they do, Billy? I hate to be stereotypical, but I'm going to do it. All right. They like to spread it out. They like to shoot it. They love to run that European style offense. And they've been showing it this year. Illinois has been putting up the points. 113 against both Jackson State and Florida Gulf Coast. Ooh. Now those are bye games. Texas Tech, they won 81-77. Then they won 84-65 against Colgate. I think, of course, now we talk about pace. Alabama, this is going to be an incredibly high-scoring game, high pace, high thrill score. If you're into that, that's what KenPom does. If you're going to the United Center tonight to watch this game, and I do like Illinois with the points here in this one. I do. Even though Alabama's a very tough outfit with our boy Nate Oates, as you know.
Yeah, just Mark Sears ain't walking through that door.
Good point.
Give me the Illini laying the 3.5. I don't love it, but I'll take it. Lay the 3.5 with the Illini, catching 7 with Arizona going to UConn tonight, and Kent State plus 9.5 hosting Central Michigan. 6-1 at the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
Look at it this way: you're betting Illinois. If it goes well tonight, there's your little hedge. So all their good fortune's done. That means they're about to play bad against the.
Now
Packers.
that's the thing. Yeah, they can get their win here tonight as long as they catch a fat L coming up Saturday night.
And if they lose. Oh, they're going to start losing now.
Then good. The losing is in Champaign. I like that. I like where your head's at. I like where your vibes are at.
I'm trying to make you feel better for betting them.
Well, you're doing a good job, and I really appreciate you doing that. How about, before we get out of here and give way to D&D?
Yeah, Billy.
Did you hear our friend Matthew Golden last night on Clubhouse Live?
I did hear that clip. Do you want to play it here for everybody else?
I was going to say, I don't know if everybody else has gotten to see Matthew Golden on Clubhouse Live last night. And funny to say the least when you see, listen, individuals are going to have to answer a number of different questions. But as I'm freezing up here and trying to be able to grab it, as you see, the amount of Packers fans that have wanted and waited patiently for Matthew Golden to catch himself his first NFL touchdown.
Maybe wagered on it.
Maybe wagered on it 1,
System
2,
play.
3, 15 times.
System play.
They've been sitting, waiting. Now, maybe they fired in the text last night that got read on Clubhouse Live to one Matthew Golden.
You have tonight's social media question of the night. Comes from a youngster, I think.
It does. It's 12-year-old Grayson Mike. And on Facebook, he wants to know this, Brett. Coach LaFleur has emphasized a need to get you the ball downfield. He's talking about Matthew here.
No way.
How are you working with the coaches to find those opportunities? And how do you feel about the plan to expand your role in intermediate and deep routes?
Good question from the youngster.
He had to use ChatGPT, man.
There's no other way. He had to have used ChatGPT, man.
I would agree, except the kid's name was Grayson. If there was a kid that was going to make sure he had that thing fired up, he researched it. He wrote a big, long thing, did way too much work. Here's a kid named Grayson.
Mom and Dad proofread it.
Sorry, it's Grayson.
Oh, that is funny.
But these days, you just don't know. Did these kids AI it? Did they ChatGPT it? It sure seems like it's possible.
I think Matthew Golden, he's too young to not know the telltale signs of when somebody's ChatGPTing, because I'm not going to say anything about anybody's academics, but I assume being in class at that, if I was in school when ChatGPT was around, I'd have had a lot of problems, Armen. I'd have been very tempted.
Of course.
Wait, how long? it takes me 10 minutes to write this paper because it writes it for me. I'm going to try it.
Yeah.
But definitely sounded like ChatGPT.
Gonna make them catch me.
Also, great way of escaping that without saying, I've been trying to tell them to give me the damn ball a little bit more.
That's the main thing I noticed.
Maybe we see it coming up this weekend. We'll talk more about Packers and Vikings tomorrow. Thanks to Dave Sinnigan for joining us and Tim Allen. Armin, great work. Let's do it again tomorrow.
Sounds good.
I'm Billy Schmidt. It's been No BS. D&D's next. You got the game.